Anil Machi of St. Andrew and Michael Ryan of St. Mark. We have the ever reliable Andy Noel, match referee and first vice president of the GCA, who will now hand the coin over to the home captain, Anil Machi, who will toss. The call is ahead, and it is ahead. St. Mark have won the toss. St. Mark have won the toss. Micah, what's the decision of St. Mark?
First of all, I want to say thank the Almighty for bringing us here today, and we're going to have a bat first.
All right, looks beautiful conditions here. The sun is out, wicket looks good. What sort of total you have in mind to set?
As I said in the start of the competition, I'm going at the same 130, 140, and knowing my bowlers, I think now we put that total on the board, I think my bowlers will defend this.
All right, an important match, do or die for both teams. Any changes to the squad?
Yeah, well, Small is coming for Cliff and Mac. Lyndon Lawrence, sorry.
All right, so once again, all the best to you and St. Max for this tournament and the rest, for this match and the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Anil Machi. Anil Machi being asked to bowl first. Something you'd have been wanting to do?
Yeah, if I had won the toss, I would have bowled first. Given that the last few matches, the batting first and struggling to post a total. So looking to give yourself a chance, send the team and restrict them on the low total and take your time and chase it. All
right, it's an important encounter for St. Andrew. Do or die encounter. Guys pumped up for this one?
Yeah, it's a situation we have been before. We have must-win situation, but we cannot let the pressure get to us. Just got to relax and play our game. And once we do that, we'll be victorious in the end.
Any changes to the squad?
Yeah, there's a couple changes in the squad. Sherman Lewis out for Dina Judge. Shakim Charles out with an injury. We have Amical Dubiset coming in as well. All right, so that's the changes in the squad.
All right, well, so we want to wish you St. Andrew all the best today and the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
All right, so to recap the news from the middle, St. Mark, they've won the toss and decided to bat.
Yes, and we are about to start this very important game this morning, a vital game in the tournament, probably the biggest game in the tournament so far. So we certainly welcome you to be with us today. We expect very exciting game today. As I welcome Kerry Frank with me this morning.
Good morning to you, Rafael, and good morning to our viewers. And wherever you are, whether locally or abroad, it's indeed a big matchup. St. Andrew versus St. Mark, the most consequential match of the tournament. The equation is simple. The winner, they advance, and the losers, they go out.
Well, the umpires are already in place. Umpires Rupert Holas and John Mark. As we see, the St. Andrews team is now on the field. We just give you the team.
Yeah, for St. Mark, they play in 11 today. Captain Michael Ryan, Shion Andrew, the top order batsman. We also have Nyron Belfon, Ronald Etienne, Kervin Gangadine, Stephen Granger, Lyndon Lawrence, the wicketkeeper batsman, Kimani Milias, Sunil Narayan, Kenroy Peters, and Ronald Williams. A team that batting has been fortified, and they should be putting up a strong challenge here today.
Yes, St. Andrews, Akim Ogis, Teddy Bishop, Jamie Buddy, Amikel Dubiset, Kelvin Lewis, Anil Matthew, Daniel McDonald, Donald McDonald, Darren Ned, Richard Rogers, and Dana George.
Yes, St. Andrews, a team where you see a few changes from the last game. Sherman Lewis is out, so that means the Amical Dubiset, who will be taking up the action from the southern end, he will get his first go in the tournament. And a team, young, exciting team, and we should be expecting a top matchup between two strong teams, two good teams in the tournament, and it's quite unfortunate that one of them would have to go out at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, most definitely. St. Mark's have been, there and thereabout. I think they have been playing good cricket. The batting has let them down quite a bit. Today, I think they would want to turn this around. They are batting first today, as Amical Dubiset from that southern end started a wide outside the off stump. Well, as you said, Kerry, Sherman Lewis is not on today, and we are seeing Dubiset making his first game. It's an important game for St. Andrews, also critical game. Even though in the point standing, they have 8 points from 4 games, but this game is crucial in terms of who goes forward from here.
Yeah, and also making his first entry into the tournament, Lyndon Lawrence, who is on strike, a short delivery. looking for the pool and not getting hold of it. As Smallies, as he's affectionately called, in cricketing circles, he is normally a powerful open top order batsman, and we'll be looking to see if they can get Saint Mark off to a flying start. And it's quite interesting to note that Milias, who had opened the previous 2 matches, he's probably pushed down the order maybe to position number 3.
Yeah, with the advent of Lawrence, I think that the batting has been linked for St. Mark's. Very irresponsible there, ball outside the off stump and going for the big flash there. Being able to get a bit of bounce off the wicket. Looking at the wicket this morning, Kerry, he really look a tremendous track. And certainly we expect today that the scores should be a little different in terms of the amount of runs scored by both teams. Really look good for batting.
Yeah, previously the wickets of the tournament, they have been good, but I think looking at the strip, as you said this morning, probably looks the best of the tournament. The tinge of green, which covered the previous wickets, it's no more, and it's a nice flat track. Probably for the first few overs, you might see the ball do a little bit, but after that, speaking with one of the players this morning, they'll basically have to out themselves.
Well, the field for Dubiset, a slipping Teddy Bishop, third man, right back on the fence, point, cover, and a long off on the offside. Mid-wicket square leg, and a short fine leg. So once again, that area, that long leg area, is pretty much vacant.
The bowler will be asked to keep the ball up to the wicket and in that position there, just on our body off stump, because there is not much protection and strain on the legs. As we see fumbling there in the field, that is looks like Rogers there in the mid-on position. The batsman, they cross over for a single, so Lawrence sees off the mark, and St. Mark, they're 2 without loss.
Yeah, ill advised throw there. That ball went straight to the point fielder and really had to just collect it and lob it back. The batsman was not looking for a run. But throwing at non-strikers in the fielder at deep mid-on had to back it up, give the batsman enough chance to pick up a run. First run off the bat.
Brings left-handed Shion Anju to the crease. On previous match, he got 1 ball against St. George's, a rising delivery from Nicholas Redhead, which he gloved behind to the wicket keeper, that was Emmanuel Stewart. So Andrew would be looking to make amends in this match and get some runs for his team. So far in the tournament, he has just 45 runs from 4 matches, high top score of 38. So he'll be certainly looking to do much better today. Looking for the single, scampering down the wicket, throw there from the field at mid-wicket. That is, and there is the batsman. He gets back into his crease quite comfortably, so no more addition to the score.
Yeah, bit of uncertainty there by Andrew. That ball went straight to mid-wicket. Really, there was no chance of a run there, and he was scampering down, but just had enough time to get back as the throw came in. Dubiset coming around the wicket to the left-handed Andrew.
Squared up, take the outer portion of the bat down to the field short mid-wicket. That looks to be Buddy. So 1-2 Andrew, he's off the mark, and St. Mark's 3 without loss. And Crony, I think so far, minus the first couple of deliveries, which was a bit wide outside the off stump, I think so far Dubiset has been on the mark.
Yes, importantly, he have been having the batsman to play at each delivery, and this is you want this the opening spell. You want to make sure that the batsman play, so you must put it in the right area, and he have been able to bowl straighter, so the batsman had to play.
On that one, Smallies would feel a bit. He let that one get away because it was a short delivery, not much pace to it, and just sort of mistimed it and went straight to the field at extra cover. We did say that the batting has been lengthened, but the question will be asked: how much cricket Lyndon Lawrence would have been playing in recent times, because I know he's currently engaged with the Royal Grenada Police Force in training, so that probably would curtail much of his cricketing activity. So he may just take a 1 or 2 overs to get his eyes in, and we do know that batsmen of that caliber and quality, they can get going quite quickly.
Yeah, it's quite evident. The few deliveries he faced, we see him playing some shots wide at the off. So I'm just trying to to feel the ball on the bat just to give him some confidence. So yeah, he took some chances playing outside the off stump, but have been able to get the ball coming off the middle of the bat. He picked up. He's on one after the end of the first over. St. Mark's 3 without loss. And as you said, the longer he stays there, probably would build his confidence. And for the sake of St. Mark's, they would hope that he get off today.
Yeah, as we see the opening bowler from the northern end, Jamie Buddy, a former national under-19 cricketer, will be looking. He has not had the best of tournaments so far in terms of wickets. I think he bowled 8 overs and hasn't picked up a wicket yet. And St. Andrew would be hoping that he has much as that one cuts the batsman in half. Big appeal, sustained appeal there from the key fielders behind the stumps and the bowler. However, the most important man, umpire Mark, is unmoved. As we see the replay, that one pitched on about the leg stump, cut the batsman literally in half, coming back into him, and probably anything that may have been the leg, but seems that good decision in the end by umpire Mark.
Yeah, very good decision by umpire Mark. It was a good delivery, and it passed. It probably touched the thigh of the batsman, and the keeper collected ball. Very good decision, good delivery.
Yeah, good start there from Buddy. And that one sort of pushed to the fielder in the cover point position, and Cronin seems that Andrew is probably not, from the few deliveries we've seen at him, he's not really keen with the ball coming onto him with much pace. He seems to be shaping away from the ball when he's playing at it.
Yeah, this is pretty surprising. We know that he's a young man that plays a lot of shots. He likes the ball coming on, but somehow he just seemed to try to get his timing right.
And that one again, similar to against St. George's, which he took on the gloves. This time he took a lot of the gloves, went towards the first slip region, and dropped short of the fielder there. So certainly good stuff, good start there from Buddy.
A very good line of attack. He's just attacking middle and leg, and a short lifting delivery on a good link. And Andrew, they having a little difficulty in able to play down to in a slip position, probably a second slip. But again, another good delivery bowled there by Buddy.
Yeah, good start so far from the St. Andrews bowler. It's not really giving away much opportunity for the batsmen to score. See, Teddy Bishop comes off the boundary to collect the ball, which is batsman crossover for a single. We mentioned Teddy Bishop. Cronin, certainly he would be one that would want to get among the runs today. He started off the tournament well, 79 in the first match against the very first match of the tournament against St. John, but since then he has sort of fallen off the pace a bit, and he'll be looking to really regain some of that early tournament form.
Yes, Teddy Bishop so far in 4 matches scored 122, and as you said, the highest of 79. So he had 79. I think he got 31 against St. David's. So that give you an indication the last 2 matches that he played. And he will certainly want to put his head down and come off. But does give the bowler a chance. He's sort of player he is. And St. Andrews would be hoping that he would be able to settle into it to give them the kind of start that they need.
Yeah, Smalley's Lawrence, he faces up to Buddy, full delivery outside the off stump.
And there's some trouble there.
Opportunity for a run out, as they seems to be gone completely ball watching there. Shion Andrews. Lawrence played the ball to the fielder at the cover point position. He went through for the single. Lawrence was a bit, Andrew was a bit late in getting through. The simplest of return to the keeper Anil Matthew to effect the run out. And Shion Andrews, he goes for 1, and St. Mark therefore for 1 in over number 2.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but I do believe Lawrence was also at fault, because Lawrence started to run gingerly, not giving the indication that he was really coming through. One got the impression he was just taking a few steps down, and then he began to run, and that is when Andrew started. So it's really unfortunate. The communication was not there. And again the ball was played in the covers in front of Lawrence. So he really was his call. I think it was a part of bad judgment on the part of Lawrence.
Yeah, and as we see from the replay once again that when the balls was removed the bail, both batsmen was literally 75% away from their respective creases. So the run out could have been on from both ends, which really indicates that it was a poor decision there from the batsman from St. Mark.
Yeah, very poor decision. I think Lawrence was the one that have to either call, say yes or no, and he started really gingerly, just chipping down, and at the end lost the wicket of Andrew, run out. So Milius comes into in the number 3 position. Normally he opens the batting.
Yeah, I think St. Mark making a little change because Milius he's been among the runs for St. Mark so far in the 2 matches. He scored 31, scoring 32 and 29 respectively, and would be looking to get some more for his team coming in at number 3. A lot of time still left in the game, just 1.5 over left bowling in so far. So he and Smallies will be looking to consolidate, he and Lawrence will be looking to consolidate for that loss of that early wicket to help lay the foundation for a competitive total for St. Mark.
Yeah, and he looking to pull the short delivery, and just went into his pad, but very good over bowl by Buddy there. At the end of 2 overs, St. Mark's batting first. They are 4 for 1.
Yeah, very good start from St. Andrew with the ball, and they've not really given much, they haven't bowled any, I could say, much bad deliveries, and they've kept the ball at the batsman, and we saw that tight disciplined effort resulted in a bit of poor decision making between the batsmen in the middle, which resulted in the run out of Sheehan Andrew. So St. Mark 4 for 1 certainly would have to play maybe a little more circumspect for the next couple of overs. They can ill afford to lose maybe either Lawrence or Milius at the stage of the inning.
Dubisset and the second over. The right-handed Lyndon Lawrence.
Again, you can see the timing is not there from Lawrence, and it's currently the police officers' battle. Lawrence, a trainee police officer, coming up against Constable Amical Dubisset. So the Royal Grenadier Police Force is on showcase here today, St. Andrew versus St. Mark.
Yeah, I wonder if there's not some competition between both players.
Yeah, they are also members of the police cricket team, which have been successful in both the local and regional cricket. So they've known each other quite well. As we see Smallies again. This Lawrence, I'm trying to get that Smallies out of my vocabulary for today's match, but Lawrence, timing certainly is not there in the early stage of the innings, Crony.
Yeah, full toss, and really should have put that away, and you could see the timing there as it went bouncing down to mid-on. The delivery before was also over pitch, and he was not able to make use of it again. Just pulling it across as it went to mid-wicket. So he certainly had to get his timing right. Just need to make sure that he plays ball on his merit, get the feel, and then he can develop from there. So I think Lawrence will need to just concentrate, focus a bit, maybe go back to the basic a little bit, just to get it right.
Yeah, we know he's a quality batsman, so it's just a matter of getting a couple off the middle, and then that can really be to click him back into some form of some sort of form.
It's very evident. Dubisset in his second over is endeavoring to keep the ball right up to the bat, and this was right up, and Milius had no room really as he came down on it and pushed it to square leg. As we see, the slip has been removed, so it's a third man, backward point, cover on the boundary, cover and a mid-off, square leg, mid-wicket, mid-on, short fine leg.
One sprayed outside the off stump, and umpire Holas, he adjudicates that one to be a wide. So one more extra to the total. Seeing that, Mark, they move to 6 for 1.
Yeah, very slow start by St. Mark's, but credit has to be given to the opening bowlers for St. Andrews. They have been there and thereabout, and that's total of 6. There were 2 extras, 2 wides.
It's actually just 3 runs off the bat so far, so that'll be 3 extras. Yes, 3 extras and 3 runs off the bat. Good delivery into Milius. That one, he went back and pushes it back to the bowler. And I think so far you can see that the St. Andrew bowlers, they're not offering any width, because Milius, he likes a lot of width outside the off stump to go over that cover to that backward point region. As we see, is that Ogisa, that looks like Teddy Bishop. He's back on the cover point boundary, which is one of those busy areas or productive areas of Milius, so they're looking to plug that gap. Currently, Milius, one of the players from the Volcanoes in the tournament. He is representing the parish of St. Mark. He would have also represented them in the Super 50 tournament, which concluded last November. So he has a bit of familiarity with the team St. Mark's, and it's certainly a good sight when you can have these cricketers coming in and adding their quality to our local tournaments.
Yeah, and a lot will depend on Milius. We saw him in the game before that. He was pretty chancy, but this time around, he just seemed to be playing with a lot more control. A lot will depend on him if St. Mark's is going to get up to the sort of score that they will feel comfortable with. I would think that they would be looking for at least 140, 150. They would want to make, and knowing the bowling that St. Mark's have, they would feel comfortable getting up to that sort of score.
Yeah, as we see that effort there from Dana George. He's one of the new entrants into the tournament, also playing his first match. Sort of that ball from shot from Milius eludes him in the backward point position, so Milius would retain strike at the start of the new over. After 3, St. Mark 7 for 1. Milius is on 1 and Lawrence is on 2.
So after 3 overs, St. Mark's are 7 for 1. Probably the slowest start we have seen in the tournament so far in terms of runs per over. As Buddy continues with his second over so far in his 3 matches. Buddy had none for 42, so he'll be looking to pick up probably his first wicket.
As the figure of McDonald there in the extra cover position does the fielding of this full delivery push to him by Milius. And yeah, Crony Buddy, certainly an exciting bowler, exciting cricketer, good athlete overall, powerful shoulders. He's had represented Grenada, and I think even represented Windward Islands at the under-19 level. So he has some experience on his shoulders, and we'll be looking to see if he can reap rewards here for his team early on.
Yeah, and I like the line that he's bowling. They are keeping off-stump line, and the fact that he's not trying to bowl too fast, but just to put it there and there, and looking for a little movement. That particular delivery, just outside the off stump and move further away, and this is sort of line you want, that area of uncertainty. And Milius just allowed it to go through outside the off stump, but good line.
Again, Milius is watchful to another delivery outside the off stump, and I think so far we can see an effort from Milius not to get lured into those deliveries, moving away from him outside the off stump. We see in the first couple of matches, those deliveries he would have normally went after it and provided probably early chances to both St. Patrick's and St. George's, and so far he's looking to be more circumspect.
Yeah, a lot more maturity, discipline shown in that he's not flashing at the ball outside the off stump as we would have seen in previous game. But again, the line of Buddy is a very good one. Doesn't give the batsman much chance. Although when we look at the field, it just slip at third man, and third man is not right back, and you want to make sure that position would be either right back to stop the boundary or up to stop a single.
Yeah, case in point, the previous matchup against St. George's, we saw, I think it was St. Paul bowling from the same northern end. Milius, he got a thick outside edge, and the fielder from third man came rushing in thinking that he was going to take the catch, and the ball just dropped about 5 yards behind him into the boundary for 4. Drop catch, missed chance, and 4 runs to Milius. So the fielder would be advised to literally hug the rope and at the last minute possible see if he can move from it.
Yes, and the feeling is such a critical part of the game. One have to understand fielding position, in terms of weight. Now you are bringing up the third man. So there's no long leg, there's no third man back. So anything that comes off the edge and passes, every chance you run into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, and that one full delivery turn to the field on the onside where the mid-on does the fielding. So 1 or more to St. Mark. The end of a very good over from Buddy. Just 1 run conceded off his 2 overs so far. And after 4, St. Mark going at 2 runs and over. They're 8 for 1.
Yeah, good start by St. Andrews, keeping things very tight. In 4 overs, the score is 8 for 1, and they would be happy with that, in that none of the batsmen seem to be coming off confidently. We see that Lawrence begin to struggle. His timing is off. And Milius showing a great deal of patience and probably maturity. So they would be happy with the start that they have, in that after 4 overs, St. Mark's is just 8 for 1.
Yeah, and I think St. Mark shouldn't be too perturbed because they have a lengthened batting lineup today. You still have the uncle and nephew pair of Micah and Sunil Narain, Kenroy Peter, Stephen Granger, Nyron Belfon. So they still have a lot left in the tank. So it's just play out these couple of early overs, because as the conditions look, it could be good for batting. Maybe not too short of time from now.
Yeah, another good delivery by Dubisset, and the batsman then Milius looking to play on the onside, but again movement, taking the ball out to the offside, just going down to a short cover. The fielder in the covers having to run in to his right a bit, but again good line, not giving the batsman any room.
And that one hit powerfully to the mid-on position, but again no runs, and we can't keep stressing the disciplined start from St. Andrew, keeping the ball just on and about the off stump, varying it a bit in length, but so far so good. 26 deliveries bowled, 3 extras, and the score is 8 for 1.
This definitely is the best start we have seen from St. Andrews opening attack. One would normally see Sherman Lewis opening the bowling. Obviously he's faster, but in terms of the accuracy of these bowlers, really have been the best opening start for St. Andrews.
Yeah, as we see a delivery there played to the fielder in short, third man. Lewis, he does the fielding, so Lewis and next to him is Dina George in the backward point position. So 1 more to Milius, he moves to 3.
Yeah, and St. Andrews do seem to have a plan in terms of their bowling. Just line and length, and not very fast. It seemed to be taking off pace of the delivery a bit. And Milius came forward. They having to wait a bit and play down to a short third man.
Yeah, both Milius and Lawrence are batsmen who loves the pace coming onto the bat, as we see Lawrence looking to charge Constable Dubisset, and he had at the last moment he had to dig down on that one to keep it out. So good bowling there from Dubisset, and equally good batting from Lawrence to keep out that full pitch delivery.
Yeah, good delivery. Swinging Yorker right in as he was looking to give himself some room coming forward, but had to really dig down on this delivery. But one would expect pretty soon, something is going to give.
Oh, that is too close for to cut there from Milius. Delivery just short of a length, angling into the batsman. Looked like the pace was off a bit, looking to probably guide it behind point, and in the end he ended up missing it and falling short to keeper Lawrence. So Milius, the tight line, he's looking to probably manufacture something differently to get the bowlers off the line. And
this is what you want, a slower delivery by Dubisset. I think it was well bowled, and Milius looking to score off it and made no contact. But again, really good thinking by Dubisset. He has so far bowled 3 overs and just gone for 8 runs. Really a bowl well, and that 8 run included some extras. So really have been good bowling.
Yeah, certainly a good start there from Constable Dubisset. 3 overs going at 2.67 in T20 cricket. Matter of fact, going at 2.67 in any form of limited overs cricket is quite excellent stuff. And He'll probably just looking to see if he can maybe have one or two in that fourth column, which signifies wickets taken by the bowler. But so far, it's been a disciplined start from the St. Andrew bowlers. 5 overs bowled, and they're 10 for 1.
So we certainly would see it's Body. He gonna bowl his third over, and we look to see what approach Lawrence going to take. It's 5 overs, so one would think that we need to kind of step it up a bit, push it around, and start increasing the score. We see Ted Bishop is now being seem to be going to square leg. Let's see. Yeah, just a forward square.
Yes,
it's a mid wicket, a long one, and a short backward square. So Body outside the off stump.
He advances, beats the fielder there at the extra cover position, not too far from his hands, but he was not able to get to the catch, to the ball, and 4 runs to Lawrence, and the first boundary here. That's the first boundary of the inning in over number 6, and it's 14 for 1.
Yeah, and a good delivery. It was a slower delivery also, and there Lawrence just coming down and had to reach for it. It was beaten, and it just went over the field at extra cover and went down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, so it's also a bit of encouragement there from both the batsmen and the bowlers. The bowler was involved. He was in it for a while, but the ball just kept going away from the fielder. That is McDonald. And 4 more runs as Lawrence again looks to attack. This time the ball very much close to him. He opens the face to behind point, where Akim Ogis he does the fielding. So 1 more to Lawrence, and it's 15 for 1.
Yeah, and we do expect now that both batsmen are going to look to be a bit more positive. We are into the 6th over, and the score is only 15 for 1. But evidently, Kerry see that the bowlers are using quite a lot of variation in terms of the slow ball, and they have been using that very effectively.
Yeah, well, in this form of cricket, you have to be able to bring out the varieties, because once you come in as a fast bowler and be bowling, at a consistent pace, it's easy for the batsmen to decide how they want to attack you. But once you bring in those variations in terms of pace and in terms of line and length, you have the batsmen thinking, because no two deliveries are similar, so they would have to also think much more about their batting. This one sprayed down the leg side and signal wide by umpire Mark, as we say good morning to a former Grenada senior youth cricketer, Rudolph Rudy Paul. He's viewing this morning all the way from Canada. We want to say good morning to you, Rudy, from the beautiful and sunlit National Cricket Stadium. Rudy Paul certainly would have made his contributions to cricket in Grenada at the junior and the senior levels, and it's good to see him tuning in to watch his parish St. Andrew in battle against St. Mark. And that's a very good shot from Milius. Flew over the point region, and for 6, excellent shot.
Yeah, good shot by Milius, and this one was pitched a little closer to him there, and he was able to just put that left foot out and hit it over backward point for 6. It was a good shot to hit that delivery over point for 6. Really, he had some timing into it, and he played it really well.
Again, that one down the leg side, appeal there, probably just would have come off the pad. Certainly would have come off the pad, and strong appeal there from the fielding team to ignite, maybe put doubt in the mind of the umpire. As we see the replay, just taking the strap off the pad, and Anil Matthew does well to collect behind the stumps. So after the end of the power play, St. Mark, they're 22 for 1. Lawrence is on 8, with Emilius on 9. And certainly good bowling.
Yeah, but
we still have one delivery left. Sorry, they got a bit carried away there. There was a wide in the over, so one more ball left in the power play. And that one turned behind square, full delivery on the line of leg stump, and just turned behind square on the onside. And four gifted runs to Milius, which he accepts quite gleefully. So not a good end to the power play. And after the power play is over, St. Mark 26 for 1. Milius is 13 and Lawrence is on 8.
Yeah, good over for St. Mark's and the most expensive over. That last delivery, full to the bat, I think there was, a query whether it was above wayside, but Milius just played it over square leg and it went down to the boundary for 4. Not the best over by Buddy at St. Mark's. Would be happy with this over. They are 26 for 1 after 6 overs. And really is a sort of start that is a sort of start that they would want to make sure that this pair continue to push on to take full use of the first few overs.
Yeah, as we have it seems that we'd have a change of bowling. We look to see who is going to, it's going to be Dubisset to continue. It looks like on indication Dubisset will be bowling his 4 on the trot as he makes his way to the top of his mark. And he'll be looking to finish strongly. He has done well so far. None for 8 from 3 overs. As Lawrence and Milius, they'll be looking to get put their foot on the accelerator a bit. We're going to see some more relaxation to the field. Now you can have a minimum of 4 fielders inside the circle. So it will be quite welcome news for Anil Matthew and St. Andrews that he can have more fielders patrolling the boundary ropes.
Yeah, and the field... third man on the boundary, backward point cover, mid off, fairly deep. Bishop on the cover boundary. We have a long one, mid wicket, backward square or forward square on the boundary.
Again, Dubisset, he starts off well, attacking the stumps, bat ball, angling in from the off stump into the batsman. And Lawrence just can't only afford to push that one to, that would be Donald McDonald, the lone fielder in the cover position. So he has a lot of grounds to cover as he has some protection on the boundary, but from the extra cover position, certainly a lot more yardage to cover inside the circle. Thick outside edge, and it's going to beat Teddy Bishop on the cover boundary. So very good shot put there from Lawrence, looking to attack Dubisset, and 4 good looking runs to Lawrence.
Yeah, and the most positive shot played by Lawrence as he came down and hit this one over extra cover really powerfully. The sweep on the boundary really had no chance as it's sped across the outfield and went down to the boundary for 4. This is what we know Lawrence to be, this sort of player. Really, they're going to really put bat to ball. But this is his best shot. I think it will give him a lot of confidence as he hit that one sweetly over extra cover for 4.
Lawrence, his second boundary in 12 balls. He has not had he's not had much of the strike lately, just 12 balls, and at the same time Milius, he's had 20 deliveries. So we see the Dubisset will be looking to bounce back as the keeper, and El Matthew, he comes up to the stumps to keep Lawrence in his crease. And that one is shot and guided down to third man, where Trent Lewis, he does a fielding. Thought momentarily for a second, but there is only 1 run to Lawrence. He moves to 13, and it's 31 for 1. As we say good morning to a special guest, Alec Athanaze. Alec, welcome to the comments box.
I'm here, thanks. So, I'm happy to be here.
All right, Alec is representing St. Patrick in the tournament. Last weekend, he would have played his first game for St. Patrick. And he would have put in a good effort both with the bat and the ball, helping his team to a comprehensive victory. As we see the action continues here at the National Stadium. St. Mark versus St. Andrew. Another comfortable run to Milius, pushed down there to the cover region. Alec, your thoughts on the tournament so far?
Well, to be honest, everything has been nice. The stream and everything is coming on very well. It's a good opportunity for people around the world to see the kind of talent that we have here in the Windward, and I think that the guys are making a good show of it.
And that one from Lawrence just pushed again into the cover point. Dick looks scampering for two. Lawrence, he's out. Oh my, is there an opportunity for an out? And there is no one backing up at the bowler's end. So a missed opportunity there from St. Andrew. Lawrence was scampering back for the single. The throw came into the keeper and he lobbed it to the bowlers on the bowler's end, but there was no fielder there. So Lawrence, he survives, and St. Mark did 33 for 1.
I think that's what the batting team has to do at the moment. I think they had a very slow start in the power play, and I think they need to rotate the strike. And these two has to bat as deep as possible to get any sort of good total on the board.
Naughty shot there from Milius, one which was outside the off stump, looking to guide it down to third man, and probably was a bit too close to play that shot.
I think he has been playing well in front of him. So I think he just needs to continue doing that.
As we see the end of the 7th over and it's the end of Amical Dubiset spell. Dubiset none for 15 from 4 overs. Alec none for 15 from 4 overs is certainly a good effort from any bowler in any conditions in T20 cricket.
Yeah, I think that early up they assessed the conditions very well. The wicket was kind of slow and they bowled very well on the wicket, hitting that nice length and not giving any width to Melius and Smallies, which we both know that they love. So I think that the rest of the bowlers coming up just need to take something out of his book and just keep doing what he was doing.
Yeah, you have played on it. You do quite a number of practice here at the National Stadium with the Windwards Volcanoes. Know the pitch very well. What sort of total you think should be a total that the St. Mark 33 for 1 in 7 overs? Do you think they will be comfortable with defending later on?
Well, I think it all boils down to the situation of the game as well, and the status of the game. I think the game is a very important game, and runs on the board will always be runs on the board. So I think the total I would be looking to set right about now is I think about 140, 145. And the only way to get that is for these two to bat as deep as possible.
As we see Buddy again, he's on change, and Lawrence looking to attack him, and this time he was able to follow the batsman. Lawrence getting hit as no runs scored. Certainly we can see an effort from the batsmen in the last couple of overs to sort of maybe push their foot further on the accelerator. As you'd have said, they started off slowly, but now the run rate at 4.6 runs and over. They will be certainly looking to see if they can push it up to 5.5 in not too short time from now.
I think that 7.1 overs that's enough to assess the conditions of the wicket, and I think that they have these two batsmen, they are in, and they need to take it as deep as possible. And we could see that the wicket is not really a square wicket. I think mostly all the shots, if I'm wrong, mostly all the shots try to play it square. I think they have missed out on most. So I think they just need to do what's working. The wicket is kind of slow, and we need to, as we see that even that he got down one, it was kind of in front. So going back to my point, I think they need to play in front a little more.
Yes, it's certainly on the slow end. For the first couple of overs, you had wicket, a new wicket, had ball in the hand. It may just have a little more bounce, but as the ball gets older, and we know that a white ball can lose its shine quite quickly and its firmness quite quickly, batting becomes much more easier. And you're as you said, to play more down the wicket or in front of you, where there is much more opportunity to pick up runs instead of looking to go square and missing out on them.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the bowlers have bowled very well on the wicket so far. The conditions, as I said, they assess the conditions very quickly, and I think the plans from the bowling team as well. You could see that they came out with clear plans. They had their field set for Melius, they had their field set for Smalley. So I guess then again, the world could see that we in the Windward, that we plan and we do. So I think that their plans and everything was very clear this morning, and it shows on the total.
Another delivery there, slower one, called no ball by the umpire. I think probably might just, if it's a wayside delivery, as we see the umpire, he's signaling the free hit. So Milius always loves the opportunity to express himself, and now a free hit coming up as we see that one. Oh my goodness, I think that would, if it's if that no ball was called for height, probably look a bit on the unfortunate side of the bowler.
Well, I mean, it's gone already. It's a no ball, and maybe in Milius at this time with this slow start, I think that's the ideal thing Milius would want at this moment.
Yeah, as you see, Buddy charges in, and good short delivery. Milius gets inside of it, plays well, more thicker. Top of the bat, flew down to the fine leg position, one bounce into the boundary, and it was a free hit, and Milius obliged himself well. 6 more runs to Milius and 6 more to St. Mark. They're 44 for 1 in number 8.
Yeah, I think they have catched on very well. The score is moving on very quickly, and Milius just stepping inside that one and helping it over the fine leg region. As we said, the wicket is kind of slow, so the fine leg is a bit square. So I think it's a good shot, stepping in the ball and stepping in the line of the ball and hitting the ball over.
A good delivery there from Buddy to follow up, and Milius prodding forward. The ball moved away from him slightly. Certainly a good delivery there from the youngster.
Yeah, excellent delivery from the youngster. I think he just went back to the plans that they had before. As you saw, that's the area they bowled to Milius in the early of his innings. So I think he just went back to the plan, and I think it's, I guess, the freedom of not knowing that it's a free hit and Milius he has an opportunity to get out. So.
And Milius gets inside that one and tugs it behind square for a single. You talk about bowlers sticking to their plans. Sometimes you have at teams, you in the dressing room before the match, you're preparing for particular players, what you want to do, how you're going to attack them, both batsmen and bowlers. And when you get out there, maybe the first couple of balls doesn't go as you wish. How difficult it is as a player, to go back to what you would have planned, or probably try to improvise on the spot.
Well, I think when we plan, there's not only a plan A but a plan B. That's in case plan A doesn't work. So I think that we as professionals need to assess. Yes, we have a plan, but when we get out there, things may be different. So I think we as professionals need to learn to go to plan B. And if things doesn't work as well, I think we need to improvise and at least get our own plans together. So in case that the batsman, let's say we get out and the batsman is guns blazing. I think we didn't plan for that as a team. So we as bowlers need to be smart.
As we see a change of bowling from the southern end, that is Dana George coming in for the first time for the tournament. Left arm bowler. He's from the Munich area, or he would play a lot of his cricket in Finland just from Munich. As he comes in for the first time for the tournament, delivery on about middle stump, shipping back into the right-handed Milius. The batsmen go through for a single. So a different prospect. It's the first change actually for the innings. The opening bowlers, they both bowled out 4 overs each, and we have the first change in the 9th over. Nowadays in cricket, it's certainly a rarity to see the first change in T20 in over number 9.
I could tell you that's the first time in my life I've ever saw that both opening bowlers bowled out, and I think that the opening bowlers, they bowl very well, but I certainly as a captain wouldn't bowl them out. The guys bowl very well on the wicket, and they know what needs to be done. So I think I would hold them back, even one, at least maybe hold a bowler Jamie, hold him for one.
Yeah, and I think the problem oftentimes is that they would have bowled well up front. They would have done well, just conceding 44 or 45 of the 8 overs collectively. But the problem is there you'll have a fresh bowler bowling at the death who may just, and the batsmen who they might have a lot of wicket in hand, a new bowler, no time to settle. They might just see it as an opportunity to attack them. So the last 4 or 5 overs can go for a lot of runs in these situations.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think Jamie, as I said, should have stayed, or the other bowler at least should have stayed and have one more over, because in cricket it's very hard to start as a batter and a bowler, because you have to assess the conditions. I mean, you could see a bowler bowling, but then you still have to come and assess your own conditions. So I think they should have hold back for one.
Yeah, so we're here with Alec Athenes, the left-handed batsman, right arm off brick bowler with the Windward's Volcano setup. Just returned from Antigua in the CWI Super 50 as Smallies. Lawrence looking to attack George. Lawrence would be familiar with the cricketers from St Andrews quite a bit because he's a native of the parish of St Andrew. Now he's representing the lighter blue in the tournament at the St Mark, but quite familiar with the St Andrews players, so he'll know what they have to offer. Alec just returned from the Super 50. You got some runs. I think it was the match before the last. Pleased with your overall performance in the tournament?
Well, I think it was the last match. I only played 2 games, and to be honest, it was quite pleasing, knowing that I was on the bench and most people coming from the bench might not be switched on. But I think the environment was good and they kept everybody intact, and it's just good that I came out and performed.
Yeah, that was actually against Guyana, 58 with the bat. Certainly a good performance. As you said, coming off the bench, asked to. I think you opened the batting in that match.
Yes, I opened the batting in both matches.
Yeah, opened the batting and got 58, and also none for 30. Win-wins the Volcanoes, quite a number of youngsters in the team. Yourself, Milius, Stuart would have all played in the recent on a 19 World Cup. Certainly a good nucleus for the Windwards to build from here.
Yeah, I think the youngsters in the team, I think we have a very good core of youngsters. A bunch of talented young men. As you said, I played with Emmanuel Stewart, Kimani Melius, as we see him out there. So I think we have a very good core of young players coming up.
Yeah, and I think we should let the listeners know, or our viewers know, that you have quite a bit of history to your name as one of your World Cup centurion. Scored a century in the last on the 19 World Cup for the West Indies. We know it's on a 19 and you've played at maybe first class cricket, but that century in the World Cup certainly I would think would be one of the highlights of your career so far.
Yeah, I think that would be one of the highlights of my career, but I think the real highlight of my career is when I came back from the World Cup and I got called in to play the finals for the Volcanoes and we won the match. I think that was the real highlight of my career coming up.
Yeah, son of the native child of Dominica, highly regarded in Dominica, and I know when you came back from that World Cup, there was a lot of commotion surrounding your return home. The islands, the people from Dominica, they was quite elated to know that one of their sons would have done so well. And certainly, what's it like, playing and knowing that there is such high expectations back home for you?
Well, to be honest, sometimes it could be a drive and sometimes it could be a lot of pressure. Because, I mean, there are days where, as cricketers, we wouldn't do well, and only a few might motivate you. But I think there are days where you don't do well, and a lot of people might come down on you, especially when they know what you could do and the way that you got out. So it's sometimes good and sometimes bad.
As we see a change of bowling now, we'll have spin for the first time today. That is Richard Rogers. He's into the attack coming in from the northern end. A short delivery. Oh my goodness. Short ball. Lawrence looking to hit it towards the onside of the pitch. Got maybe the outer portion of the bat and went to the fielder there at extra cover. Missed opportunity there from St. Mark?
Yeah, definitely. As we see, the wicket is a bit too paced. This one just skidded through. But I think they have bowled very well to Smallies. I think he's a player who loves a lot of whip, and every bowler who came on so far has bowled the ball very close to him. So I think they have just bowled well to these two batsmen.
Yeah, and I think just about halfway through on 47 on the board, so the 47 for 1 as the bowler here bots at the last moment. Lawrence looking to attack, get down the ground, just held it on into his hand and about the run. And he probably would recalculate and see what next he'll bowl to Lawrence.
I think these guys just need exactly. I think they need to rotate right about now and bat as deep as possible, because I don't think losing a wicket now would do them any good. Because coming in, as we see, it's very hard to start on the wicket. So coming in as a new batter, it will be very hard, and you will soak up some balls. So I think they need to bat as deep as possible.
Good delivery there from Rogers, pushing Milius off the back foot. And it's two batsmen, they love pace coming onto the ball, and the prospect of spin, a bit slower. They would not fancy it a bit as much as the quicker men. As short delivery goes back and cut, big appeal for caught behind. The keeper, he looks quite confident. The bowler, he looks distraught as umpire John Mack is on move from his position. So it's the end of the over, and after 10, St. Mark did 48 for 1.
Yeah, as we see the replay, I think it was well bowled. As we said, these guys, they love width, and you could see these guys are just keeping the ball very close to these two batsmen. So I think that they are bowling very well at the moment. Then.
Yeah, I think at the end, as we see the replay, it seemed to be a good decision there from the umpire. The ball, once again, we watch the replay. Bit short outside the off stump, moving away to get some room, and the ball would have passed over the top edge of the bat. So the fielders probably, appealing more out of optimism than anything, but I think certainly a good decision from the umpire.
I think they heard something. I don't think it's it might be an edge, but I think they heard something.
As we see Dana George is about to continue, and Lawrence gets one straight outside the off stump, signal wide by umpire Holas. So one more to St. Mark, they're 49 for 1 halfway through. Lawrence 18 from 25, Milius 23 from 30. Two batsmen who certainly like to be dominating. They're both scoring on the strike rate under 100. Lawrence seems to just be struggling a bit for his timing. Oh, big thick outside edge as French cut down to the fine leg position, where Buddy in the short fine leg runs back and does the fielding. So one more run to Lawrence. When Alec batsmen who normally may not have played for a while and is struggling for form, what do you think are the best advice to them?
Well, I think you have to play yourself in. I mean, you haven't played for a while, so I think you can't just go out and expect to just blaze every ball. I think you have to get yourself in, rotate, and assess. Try to get yourself back where you were back then.
As that one, Milius, he gets inside of it and tugs it behind to fine leg. Excellent feeling there from Buddy running back. The batsmen, they cross over for 2. So Buddy in the short fine leg, good effort there from the young man getting back and saving 2 runs.
Yeah, excellent effort. I think it's a good thing to see the youngsters sliding, and I think that is something we miss in the Wayne Wards. Excellent. I think we have a lot of excellent fielders, but I think some of the sliding I think needs to work on. I think we went through an excellent fielder recently in Dylan Douglas and Kotoy. I think they are very good at those kind of stuff.
And Milius, he swings at one. Buddy, he settles himself in the fine leg, plants his catches well. Milius goes after getting a start. He's out once again. Excellent catch there from Jamie Buddy. We were just talking about the fielding of the youngster, and really good catch. It was a difficult one, went way up in the air, circling a bit, and he had to steady himself, settle himself, and he completed a comfortable catch. Some would say an easy catch, but I think it had a little bit element of difficulty to it.
I don't think these catches are ever easy. That the catch went very high, and when the white ball is in the air for so long, it swirls. And I think from experience, that's a very good catch, and just what they didn't need. I think, as we spoke about earlier, coming in, a new batsman coming in right now is not what the batting team needed at the moment. So I think a bit reckless by Milius. I think he should have just batted through, knowing that he's the most experienced at the time.
Yeah, as we see the new batsman coming in, that is Stephen Granger. Probably might have been surprised to see Stephen Granger coming in after the halfway stage with St. Mark 52 for 2. Probably would have expected to, maybe see one of the Norines come into the crease, but it is Stephen Granger who is in. And the batsmen, they cross. So Dana George, he gets his first wicket of the tournament, the important wicket of Kimani Milius, caught off by Jamie Buddy for 25. And St. Mark, they're 2 down for 52.
And I think it's very good bowling once again. As we said earlier, the guys, they kept the ball very close. And Milius is a player who loves whiff. And seeing he got bogged down today because of not getting any width. So I think their plans were very clear to him.
Yeah, certainly good thing that delivery was just on about the middle stump from the left armor, looking to probably hit over the onside. Got a thick edge, flew way up into the sky. Body suckling around it, had to do well, and he ended up completing a very good catch. And St. Andrew, they'll be quite elated to see the back of the dangerous Kimani Milias.
Certainly, I would. Knowing Melius and knowing his capabilities, I think it's a good wicket, very very good wicket at this time. Right now they have to come back and they have to consolidate. And Small is being the most experienced at the wicket right now, and he's been here for a while now. I think he opened them. He has to know.
As they appeal for cut behind, the umpire nods his head in approval to the decision. So it's another wicket down. Stephen Granger, he goes without scoring, and St. Mark, they've lost 2 quick wickets there, 53 for 3.
I think it was well bowled. It was a lifting delivery just on and off stump. It was well bowled, and as you saw that he changed the angle, so I guess it was maybe some sort of planning. Previously, I think maybe they planned to him, and it was an excellent delivery. Changed the angle and he went around the wicket to cramp him for any room.
Yeah, the batsmen, in St. Mark's, they certainly love to get some width and coming now around the wicket, angling the ball into the left hander, taking out that width outside the off stump. He was able to just feather an edge through to the keeper. And they're quite elated to see the back of Granger. 53 for 3 brings to the crease Sunil Narain. 2 matches ago he would have scored 50 against St. John's. He would have gotten not against St. George last match, so he'll be looking to sort of regain some of his forms from 2 matches prior. And with just 9 overs to go, he will be banked on by St. Mark to probably bat the way through.
And that's what we spoke about earlier. I think the wickets, that's definitely what they didn't want at this time of the game, to lose wickets back to back. I think they had to bat through. Melius and Smallis had to set up the game for whoever coming in the back end if a wicket has to fall.
Yeah, as we see, the Rogers is about to begin his second over, and we want to say thank you to Alec for joining us. I know he is going to get ready for the second match today, St. Patrick versus St. John. Alec, your team basically guaranteed of a spot in the next round of the tournament, but we're certainly looking to put in another professional performance today.
Yeah, I think winning becomes a habit, and I think going into the next game, I don't think we want to lose any game. So I think we want to keep our spirits high as a team. So I think we will be looking to get a good performance in.
You'll be coming up against your Volcano compatriot later on, and I'm certainly 2 of you will be facing up. He with the ball, you with the bat. I'm looking forward to coming up against the man with the unique dance, Larry Edward.
Spanish Larry. Well, I think it's always a battle, even in the nets, when Larry and I are going up against each other. So it'll be fascinating to see what he comes up with today.
All right, so we want to thank you for joining us and for stopping by, and wishing you all the best for the match today.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so that was Alec Athanaze, the Windward's Volcano all-rounder. He stopped by to offer his thoughts on the match and the tournament. As we welcome back Rafael Crony. Crony, St. Mark 54 for 3, losing a couple of quick wickets. St. Andrew certainly will be feeling quite happy about the proceedings at the moment.
Yeah, very good start by St. Andrews. I think they came into this game with a definite plan in terms of how they're going to approach the batsmen. They really didn't give the batsmen much room. They haven't done much wrong in terms of the bowling. So they have to be given credit. I think they have done a really, really good job.
Wrapped on the pads, and the umpire signals, puts his finger up, as the batsman looking not to be too pleased with the decision, maybe sending his bat in the direction of the umpire as we see the replay. And wrapped on the pad, whether the bat was able to get around it get an inside edge, we are not too certain from this vantage point. But the story is, it's another wicket for St. Mark, Sunil Narayan goes without scoring, and St. Mark they're 54 for 4.
Yeah, a good decision by the umpire as he came forward there. You can see him pushing forward and they play outside the delivery and hit in front.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good from here.
Yeah, Narayan was signaling that he had some bat into it, but I think if I see the replay another time, it looks like he may have just played around the ball ballooning into the front pad. As we see the replay once again, looking to very closely to see if the bat was able to get some edge, and I think that the ball passed far from the bat, so he was signaling to the umpire that he got an edge onto it, but from the replays indicate that there was no bat involved in that one.
Yeah, I think it was more disappointment, a good delivery, and again the umpires have been making some very good decision. And St. Mark's losing the 4th wicket, 54 for 4. We are in over number 12. Really seems to be a dream start for St. Andrews.
Yeah, as we see now, Etienne, he strides to the middle, and I was thinking why Etienne probably didn't come in 2 wickets before. Probably when the partnership between Milius and Lawrence was broken, it probably would have been the perfect opportunity for Etienne to come in instead of just less than an over. 2 more wickets fell, and he comes in now at 54 for 4 instead of 52 for 2.
Yeah, sort of surprising that he came in number 6. I wonder if he's 100% fit.
Yeah, I know the last match he would have went off the ground for a few overs. As we see Smalley's advances and he's beaten in flight. Lyndon Lawrence goes stumped off the bowling of Richard Rogers for 21, and St. Mark from 52 for 1, they're now 55 for 4.
Yeah, a bad shot by Lawrence, and we know the difficulty he had with the slow bowling, and that wasn't a delivery of much merit. It just came down, and really was no way to the pitch of that ball, and trying to hit it some way over extra cover missed, and was a easy stumping chance for Anil Matthew.
Yeah, Lawrence looking to get up the tempo. He advanced the ball, beats the outside edge. Easy stumping there, and a disappointing performance from Lawrence.
Yeah, very disappointing. The ball didn't do anything much. There was no big turn. I just think he went down and swung and missed, and the keeper Anil Matthew did the rest. 55 for 5, and we still in the 12th over.
Yeah, as we see, Captain Mike Narayan, always a man for a crisis, strides to the middle, and Rogers, he has picked up 2 wickets in the over. He is 2 for 3 off 1.5. Lawrence gone could ill afford to have lose Lawrence after he has batted so long, and now St. Mark's, they're in a spot of bother 55 for 5.
So we have seen an improved bowling performance by the St. Andrews team. I must say that they were very disciplined and really didn't give the batsmen much room. Very tight, and both opening batsmen had problem to get away the ball. Then we saw Milius and Lawrence batting for a while, again having it very difficult, and as such, because of the pressure, they were forced to play shots and lost their wickets. So I think it's really been good strategy, good tactics used by St. Andrews.
Yeah, kept the ball, just keep attacking the stumps, not offering much width to the batsmen, and they were forced to to manufacture shots, and in the end, now 56 for 5 after 12 overs. They will be disappointed with that position, but they have 2 of the more experienced members in the squad, Mike Narayan, the captain, and Ronald Etienne in the middle, so they will be banking on them to bat out the next 8 overs to see if they can get their team upwards of 120, 130.
Yeah, I think they would be happy to reach 120 now, but as you said, Etienne is a stalwart himself, and the captain Narayan has shown the ability to be able to bat well in the middle, but this one goes down to long on, and simple catch.
There goes Mike Narayan, and it's wicket number 6. Wicket number 6 for St. Mark. The captain, Mike Narayan, looking to hit down the ground. doesn't time it well. An easy catch there for Richard Rogers running in off the boundary. Mike Narain goes for 1, and St. Mark, the slide continues from 52 for 1, then off 56 for 6.
Yeah, the wheels seem to be falling off. Again, ill-disciplined shot by Narain. One would have thought with 8 overs to go you want to bat on with Etienne. But they were looking to hit this ball somewhere down to long on, but really didn't get hold of it. They just flicked it and it went down for an easy catch. Again, one have to give George, who have been bowling very well, again, to not giving the batsman much room. And he was not able to clear that mid-on, which was not right back. A simple catch.
Yeah, the slide continues to St. Mark. Quite a talent performance. Dana George so far has picked up 3 for 7. He's just began his third over. Richard Rogers 2 for 4. So between the two of them, they've bowled 4.1 overs, picked up 5 for 11.
Yeah, and when we look at the pitch this morning, Kerry, one wonders in terms of, do we think it probably was the right decision to bat first?
Well, I think you should not put the pitch into it. It's a good wicket, but I think most of what we'd have seen so far from the St. Mark batsmen, it was really batsmen getting themselves out. The bowling was decent, kept a tight line and length, but most of the dismissals, Lawrence, he ran down the wicket, missed it and he got stumped. Shion Andrew, he was sold a dummy, he got run out. Kimani Milias, it was a length delivery on the legs, looking to whip over the leg side. He went out. Stephen Granger, one angle in him, which he feathered behind, and Mike Narain looking to hit out of the ground, got caught in the mid-on position. So it's a good wicket. The bounce is consistent. It looks might be a bit on the slower side, but it was a case of batsman error more than bowling triumphing.
Well, you're certainly right in terms that has nothing to do with the pitch itself, but really ill-disciplined batting. St. Mark's would have batted first in quite a number of matches and haven't done well. They batted second against St. David's, and even though they didn't do well, they was able to really force it right down to the wire. My first instinct this morning, I thought that the team that win the toss would have field first, but certainly that wasn't the case, and we are seeing St. Andrews really taking advantage and really playing really hard cricket today.
Yeah, as we see Peters, he uses his long frame, comes forward to keep out that delivery from Dana George. So Peters is yet to score. With him is Ronald Etienne, he's on 2 from 2. And St. Mark, the rebuilding seems to always be in progress at the moment. 57 for 6. And these two will certainly have to bat a long way to the end.
Well, we are in over number 13. Again, we are seeing that the bowlers would have really slowed down the pace, not really looking to extract any sort of pace from the wicket, but just bowling line and length, and the batsmen having to reach for the deliveries, having to think even in playing, and we saw that resulted in really the timing was off with most of the batsmen.
As we see that one hit there from Officer Kenroy Peters over the cover boundary. That is Ogis on the boundary. He had to do the running into the field in the ball. He wasn't able to get to it, but the batsman, they were able to cross over for 2. As we see Etienne a bit winded there, scampering for 2 quick runs. So 2 runs to end the over from Dana George. He's 3 for 10. He's 3 for 10 from his 3 overs, and St. Mark did 59 for 6 after 13.
Yeah, and Etienne seemed to be struggling, as I thought. He still seemed to be feeling some effects from that injury, which he sustained last week. And maybe that's the reason why he came in so late at number 6. But coming off those 2 runs, you could see him bending there and just seemingly looking to hold a tie a bit.
Yeah, I think it was some maybe hamstring issue, maybe a tweak or so in the previous match. And these things, can take a little while to get, back to get well. And he probably just out there fighting on soul yearning for his team, because such an important player with both bat and ball. St. Mark can ill afford to have him in the bowling lineup, and that one looking for the big heave as the ball trickles down to the boundary. Good fielding there from Daniel McDonald to keep it inside the boundary ropes to Bice. So Etienne, probably single running is not going to be his forte today, looking to maybe hit the boundaries.
Yes, still struggling. Really struggled for those 2 runs. Certainly that injury really have seemed to be affecting him in terms even his movement.
As Rogers, he's in again to Etienne, and Etienne again goes for the big booming on drive. Tickles down to, that is a Bishop down there on the cover point boundary. So 1 more to Etienne, he moves to 3, and St. Mark from a position of 52 for 1, they're 62 for 6.
Rogers in his 3rd over so far picked up 2 for 5. As Peters, the attacking Peters, comes into strike. And for Peters, there's a long on, mid wicket on the boundary, mid on, backward square on the leg side.
Peters gets looking to, as we see the hobbling Etienne struggling to get in on the home. As single play to that is Dubisset, who is in the short fine leg position, but they're able to cross over, and certainly not a reassuring side there, seeing Etienne struggle to get between the wickets.
Yeah, he will have to avoid taking the short singles. He has power to hit the ball, but just need to avoid taking the short singles.
Yeah, that one shorter and flatter and faster. Etienne looking to get some room to cut behind point, not able to succeed. Oh, and the lack of foot movement is certainly affecting his batting out there.
Yes, St. Andrews continue to keep the pressure on, keeping things very tight. And Rogers so far in his 3rd over doing well. Only 5 runs, another good delivery as he complete his 3rd over. And St. Andrews, but having St. Mark's really struggling at 63 for 6 as we have some 14 overs being bowled.
Yeah, certainly a dominant performance so far from St. Andrews. They've kept it tight throughout with the opening bowlers, and when the batsmen, they were forced to accelerate, the first and second change bowlers, they've been able to snare the wicket. So between the 2 of them, Dana George and Richard Rogers, 6 overs bowled, 5 for 16. Certainly good effort from St. Andrews change bowlers.
Yeah, and we have very good conditions here down at the stadium. One would think that 63 for 6, maybe it's a fault of maybe the pitch or the condition, but beautiful condition down here at National Stadium. Bright sunshine. I think it's probably one of the best weekend we would have had in terms of even the quality of the field now coming back to normal, and certainly is a beautiful day for cricket. As I welcome this morning Pastor Stevens home.
Lovely day, Raphael. Morning to you, and morning to listeners wherever they're picking up the broadcast, wherever they're viewing from. But I think wide signal by the umpire, ball slanting down the leg side. But I'm sure St. Mark will be very disappointed with their performance, and these two will have to do a great work to just try to restore things, but nothing is really going their way right now.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. They will be very disappointed. I think they had the inclusion of Lyndon Lawrence, which obviously would have strengthened the batting. They would have come into this game feeling very confident. Milius and Etienne, who are some of the senior players. But St. Andrews bowled well. I thought that they came out with a plan. They seemed as though the intention was to keep things tight, not to give them room, and they did that very well. And I think after 4 overs, we were just bordering 8 runs. So I think they really stuck to a plan and really bowled well.
And McDonald, in fact, keeping things tight. Just a 1 run coming off his 5 deliveries in his first over so far. So he's kept it very tight. He's been very busy outside the off stump, shot left alone. Keeper collects behind the stump. So he would be happy with that. 64 for 6 and 15 overs gone.
Yeah, the best we have seen St. Andrews bowl. I think they're very, very disciplined. And the plan that they came out, they really just tighten things on St. Mark's. They really was not able to get off. None of the batsmen looked that fluent and looked positive. And, you know, a lot have to be given to the quality of bowling we saw this morning from St. Andrews.
So Rogers, he's picked up 2 for 5 of 3 overs. That's more than economical. And he's going to continue to bowl. He's going to bowl his 4. Why not? Why take him off when he's bowling for so very well, Raphael?
Yeah, well, we have seen that the both opening bowlers in Dubisset and Body, they bowl 4 overs each. So the first 8 overs, the opening bowlers bowl out. You know, and as Alternas was commenting there that first time you have seen it happen. In all the cricket that you have played, is the first time you have seen it happen. But they were bowling well, and I think it turned out that they did the right thing because they kept things tight.
Hit, lovely shot, fine shot, that's 6. Well, that was a lovely shot. It was pitched up by Rogers, and he was hitting that with the tide. He's a conventional leg spinner, and he hit it over the wideish long off area, and it went soaring for 6. That was a beautiful shot. Let's look at it. That's right. Slightly clearing the front leg out of the way, just slightly. Got right under it and lifted it nicely over maybe almost a deep straight extra cover.
Yeah, safe shot by Etienne to the pitch of it and lifted it over extra cover for 6.
He's going again. That's a fine shot. That's even further. That's 6. That's even further. He's a big man, massive shoulders. Got under it and lifted it high and handsome, and it went in contrasting direction. Went over the straight mid-wicket area, and that's gone for 6. So 2 big blows. Look how he got to the pitch of that one. Decided that he was going to go over the mid-wicket area. Cued it very well, and went maybe about 100 yards. It was slightly bigger than the previous one. Really lovely. There's no slogging in that.
Yeah, good shot by Etienne, and I think this is where he has to play. Be positive, wait for the bad one, and really take full advantage.
One that is flatter in trajectory, a little faster too, pushed out on the onside. Good sensible bowling there by Rogers, didn't toss that one up. See what he's going to do with this one. Outside the off stump, cuts down to backward point. I think this has sufficient legs to go into the boundary. Will be pulled back just inside. Yes, does. The return comes in now. It's a sharp one, and the batsman got 2. Just eased onto the back foot, opened the face of the bat, and with precision and delicate neatness, just cut that behind square. Oh, that was a late cut. That was lovely. Got 2. He lifts this one again. That's another 6. That's another 6. Over long off. Fine shot. Pitched up. Went under it and lifted it high and hard. And it's gone over the long off boundary. So 6 more to Etienne. 3 6s already in this over. It's proven to be an expensive one. 20 runs already off 5 deliveries. Oh, this is big. Not only the shot is big, but the over is big.
Yes, certainly. Good shot by Etienne. Pitched up, and he gave it the right treatment. Just hitting it over long off.
Comes forward, pushes it out on the offside, hobbles for a single. Good, nice, sensible cricket. So 21 runs coming off this over. And at the end of it, it's 85 for 6 and 16 overs gone.
Yeah, big over for St. Mark's. 21 runs in that over, 85 for 6, and they still probably would be looking to get up to at least 120. And at 120, they could still be a good match. St. Mark's boasts of bowlers that can keep things very tight. We doesn't have Williams on the team today, but certainly they would want to get anyway at 120 for the least.
Well, he was 3 overs for 5, 2 wickets. That's Rogers. That has gone now to 4 overs for 26 and picked up 2. Oh, how things can change in life. Delivery that is turned behind square. Sensible cricket there by Etienne. Goes for what would be his 25th run. The run rate has now gone up to 5.32 with that very meaty over, very productive over, in which some 21 runs were scored, including 3 massive sixes. There would have been sixes any ground in the world. Well hit.
Yeah, and both batsmen, they would want to push on from here. Just 3 overs after this one, they would want to take as much advantage now in trying to push the score pretty close to 120, 125.
Yeah, if they get up to this 120 or 125 suggested target that Rapel Crony has just talked about, then it's going to be a good fighting work in total. There's McDonald looking to sweep that down to fine leg. They're going to get only one because Etienne is in fact playing with an injury. Wide signal by the umpire. That was maybe not a bad ploy in the end by McDonald, trying to get the injured Etienne to sweep. Would be a little bit difficult on his body in his injury.
Yes, and trying not to give him much room. So, just to cramp him.
So they will be having some trouble here in scampering for quick singles. And I think McDonald understands that. So he's coming through a little faster, a little quicker, not giving them room to free the arms. This one is driven down the ground for 4. Beautiful shot. Nobody moved. Pitched up. And he didn't go airborne. Peters just struck it back past the bowler all along the carpet. The umpire just had to move out the way for a fleeting moment. Let's look at it. Lovely drive. Got it on the full. And it went back past the bowler, past the umpire, and went to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, full toss. Give me the right treatment. Again, McDonald trying to get it into the legs and to pitch it right up.
Bowl him! Well, it was given generous flight. Lazy looking shot there by Peters. I mean, absolutely no reason why that should have bowled him, but he was seemingly planted onto the back foot. No, he came onto the front foot, but did not get to the pitch of the ball.
Yeah, poor shot there. One would have thought that, again, is a delivery that should be hit on the full toss. As we look at it there, he had enough time to come forward and to hit that delivery. But he stood up and trying to drive not to the pitch of it. He missed it. And as it pitched, it came back into the stumps, and Peters was bowled.
So Peters has just gone for, what's his total? Let's just check, confirm that he's gone for 15 balls. But at least he played a good role there with Etienne. Calvin Gangadine, the new batsman, has just come to the crease with scarlet helmet, slender youngster, and Kelly Gangadine, of course, being his father. Not surprising that he's produced a cricketing son, has he?
Yeah, not surprising. Kelly, a cricketer himself, and played at the highest level, left arm seamer. And I know he was very happy when his son, began to play. He played represented Grenada under 15. The win was under 15. So, have some experience. But again, he's not the attacking, hard-hitting player, as you said, small in nature. So even the singles now would be a challenge with Etienne not 100% fit.
Right. So not known to be a big hitter. He's a slender character, and tend to look at nurdling the ball, caressing it, pushing it in the gap. But batting now with Etienne, who is obviously impeded with that leg injury, that is going to make it a very difficult proposition for both of them as to how they're going to handle this. I think with the field spreading now, there's a third man right back, sweeper right back on the boundary, long off, long on. The mid wicket is going to go right back on the boundary too, so they want to save the big hit and challenge him to get a single or twos, as the case may be. This is going to be very interesting, as Darren Ned is hailed back into the attack. This is a good move.
Yeah, certainly a good move.
Here he is, going way outside the off stump and looking to hit that behind square on the leg side. Doesn't make contact. On normal circumstances, the umpire would have called that a wide refill.
Yeah, I think it probably just brushed a pad, touch a pad, seemingly touch a pad. I think that probably helped take it down the leg side, because it's pitched probably just around the off stump or just outside, and he tried to hit it down to backward square.
Comes forward and pushes it up to long off, the Ambler single. So Gangadine now comes into strike, St. Mark, edging to that 100 total. The run rate now 5.42, and we're in over number 18. They would want to think about 120.
Yeah, they would want to really get that weight up to at least 6 to have a fighting chance. Now we see Bishop coming into mid-on, coming off the long on boundary.
Here is Ned. Gangadine down the leg side, confirmed a wide by the umpire. I think he'd be very disappointed with that delivery, especially to the new batsman. They would try to crowd him, pressure him, test the nerves. You don't want your first delivery to a new batsman to be slanting down the leg side.
Yeah, we want to make him play just to hit the off stump there, and he's bringing the ball into the bat. So it's more important that you keep pitching, attacking the line just outside the off stump. So you force the batsman to play, and with the ball coming back in, it's a bigger challenge.
Turned just behind square. He's got to hurry, and the appeal goes up. Will he be adjudged a run out? We don't know. The umpire says no, and they will in fact come back for the second run. While all the players were converging and appealing to the umpire, umpire said not out, and meanwhile the ball ricocheted and went down in the outfield. Now let's watch the return. Comes in and just manages, from what I see, maybe just managed to put the bat down, and they scamper the second run.
Yeah, a very good decision. With the naked eyes, you have to give the umpire some credit, because it really looked as though it was looked out the first look at it, but as we look at the replay, we see that, yeah, very tight.
Oh,
very, very tight.
Yeah, you've got to give good credit. I mean, good credit to the umpire. Well done. And when it's tight like that, and you don't have the replay, the third umpire to declare whether he was in or out, you've got to give the benefit of whatever doubt there is to the batsman. Here is Ned to Gangadine, turned out on the onside. He's got to hurry, and they get there. This is almost comical on the part of Etienne. Gosh, he's hobbling. Just managed to get up to the non-striker's end. The advantage he's had, though, Rafael, is that he's been backing up.
Yes, he's been backing up, looking for the singles very, very quickly. But it really is a struggle, and you have to give him a lot of credit, despite his injury. He's all into it, and this is the sort of player Etienne is. He's a fighter.
Turned up on the onside, will get a comfortable single, as Rogers comes in very quickly from short mid-wicket, but couldn't prevent the batsman from going for the single. So the overs come to an end from Ned. So his first over yielding 5, and at the end of 18 is 99 for 7.
With 2 overs to go, 99 for 7. I think St. Andrews would feel pretty comfortable in where they are now. St. Mark's, on the other hand, would be very disappointed. I think on a wicket that is playing well, they would have been looking to probably get close to 140. But it has been a good first session for St Andrews.
Oh, it has been. But these last couple of overs will be rather critical as to whether they can make this 2 explosive overs and bring, even if they get up to 15 in the last 2, will be productive. Delivery that is done down to the deep forward square boundary, and that gets a single. So 1 more to Etienne's total. It's gone to 28. Things have subsided a bit though. The couple of massive blows that he hit, a couple of sixes in an over of Rogers. It's been much tighter now. Here is George. Turned up on the onside, thought about the single and had to go back. Good morning to Justin Hector.
Morning, Bassa. Morning to viewers wherever you are viewing this telecast. Lovely conditions here at the National Stadium.
Nice day. It's contrasting to what we had in our last game.
Correct, the last 2 games.
Last 2 games. Looking to pull. One that was bowled a bit slower is Gangadine. I think he could say that he sort of missed out on that one.
Yeah, probably not quite too falling in the plan you would want Etienne to have most of the deliveries at this stage.
Yeah, but stretching him for the single is also going to be a challenging thing. It's 100 for 7. Down the track, the ball is hitting the air. It's going to be taken down a third man. It would have been a great catch. They've gone for 1. We'll come back for the second. The return comes into the keeper's end, and they get 2 as Williams having to clean up. It was a good effort there on the part of Granger. And, well, sorry. Good effort on the part of, who's that there at third man? And had to come around. That's Lewis, right? Yeah, Lewis. It was hard for him to get there. Down to third man. Lewis again comes across. Good, nice diving tackle. Saves what might well have been 4. So they get a single. Comes off strike. Etienne will want to do something big in this over.
Yeah, well, it's coming up to about 6 runs and over, and St. Mark I can't recall St. Mark getting anywhere near 120 so far in the tournament, and they have come close to defending 90 odd on a number of occasions, on 2 or so occasions. So it's have to be seen if they should get up to 120.
Wide signal by the umpire. Ball slanting down the leg side as George apologizes, of course, to his teammate, just holding up his hand as if to say, hey guys, I'm sorry, naughty on my part, we'll have to bowl that over.
So it'll be interesting to see how St. Patrick will approach it, if they'll be able to pull that out there. St. Andrew, they haven't had the best of totals to batting.
Hit down to the deep square area, drops just in front of Rogers, who comes off the boundary, and admonished by the rest of the players not to hurl the return in. So the over has come to an end. That's correct. 19 overs gone. Just a 1 remaining. 105 for 7. Gangadine is 5. 29 to Etienne, who will be taking strike.
Yeah, so it's good for St. Mark that Etienne would be on strike for the start of the over. And the fact that he probably can't run, I don't think he would want to pick up, maybe get Gangadine back on strike. He would probably want to take all of the 6 deliveries if he can, and probably try to push the total up to as close to 120. They had a pretty big over a couple overs ago, and probably would want to repeat that.
Yes, this has to be big. They would want to have at least 120, as you said, at the end of the innings. To get there, they would need 15 of this over, and with McDonald, who will be bowling, that's correct. He's very meticulous as to where each of his players, his fielders, the boundary riders, are right back at long off, deep cover, sweeping, long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep backward square. So here is the challenge for Etienne. Etienne lifts that straight. That's a fine shot. That's 6. Beautiful shot. Now he got to the pitch of that one. Didn't open the face of the bat, nor closed it. He led with the front arm and lifted that over the long off area. And it went easily for 6. No big wallop. Just shows that he's a strong man, isn't he?
Yes, and smart cricket, all the fielders are the boundary, the onside boundaries are aligned, so therefore he gone straight, and I thought for a moment he should have had a fielder here in the come box.
Well, here's the delivery that is short, pulls down to the deep mid-wicket area, and would not go for the single as Roger comes off the boundary, holds the return, sends back Gangadine, is Etienne.
Yes, we should be cat and mouse now. You want to face every delivery in this over.
All the ones on the total, on the board for 7. Short, lifted that down to the deep extra cover. They're going to come back for the second. No, they're not going.
But that was not good cricket on Gangadine's part.
Not good cricket at all.
He had to go, and he had a right. Etienne has a right to be mad. Even if Gangadine is run out now, it's consequential. Etienne has to take the strike.
Yeah, he's upset. He is coming back. He's a younger player. The bigger, older man was saying to him, look, we could get to. I'm the hobbler. Let's take the chance. He didn't. Down the track, stump, gone, anticlimactic. So, well, you can't have more irony than that. And you could see him remonstrating that Etienne, not happy about that. So Gangadine goes, he's out stumped for 5. And maybe he'll go back, he'll chide himself, and the skipper may chide him when he gets in.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I don't want to call it headless cricket, but it is clear that he should not have had the strike at all. He no need to have the strike at all in this over. Etienne has to face every delivery, as I was saying before the start of the over. And he did refuse a single there, so therefore Gangadine, all he had to do was to turn and come back. Even if he had been run out, this would have been more beneficial because it means that Etienne would have been back on strike. So you got to think this game out. It's a game of thoughts, and you know, you has to use your head at all time. Really, that wasn't good thinking on the part of Gangadine. It was a little bit of, probably, you want to call it ill discipline, I don't know.
Yes. More likely he would have been run out. But again, sometimes panic does interfere with the accuracy of throws and all of that. He had nothing to lose except that the record books would have said that he was run out for 5. But in the wider context of the game and thinking about a team situation, it was the right thing to do. Come back for the second run.
Yeah, it's like 2 balls wasted there.
Yeah. Sometimes these little elements of the game, if not properly thought out, can put teams weighed in the balance.
So probably the chance now of getting up to 120 may have gone as a result of that.
Well, let's see what Belfon is going to do. Here on Belfon, he's going to come from round the wicket is McDonald, and they would want a single here.
No, he will want to go all the way.
Yes, tucked down to the deep mid-wicket area and would get a single. So he gets off the mark, gets off strike. Etienne will have the last ball to face. He's going to want to go big.
Yeah, so he couldn't go, he hit a 6 or a 4. So the best case scenario in that case would have been to get a single and get Etienne back on strike. Because regardless of what happened now, it doesn't really matter. Etienne will go for it.
Here he is, hits that down to the third man area. They'll get one, the ball peeling off the outside edge. So just bye actually. I thought he got a nick onto it, didn't. So that's the end of the inning. Bye signaled by the umpire. St. Mark's finally getting up to 114. They'll be disappointed about the score and disappointed in the final over as a whole. Extras being a healthy 17. So it's 114 for 8. It means that St. Andrew, they will have to get to 115. That's the victory target. Well, let's see if we can go through the scorecard for you. Lyndon Lawrence was tragically stumped by Matthew after bowling of Rogers. He went for 29 deliveries, batted for an hour and 1 minute. 2 fours in the process. Sean Andrew was run out by Dubisset, went for 1. Milius was caught body of the bowling of George, 25, 32 balls, 41 minutes at the crease, just the 1-4. Was a sort of discipline on 20 like T20 like innings. Stephen Granger caught Matthew, bowled George without scoring. Sunil Ryan leg before to Rogers without scoring. Ronald Etienne what might just be called the hero of the innings. Not out 36, 23 balls, 38 minutes, struck 4 fours in the process. Kenroy 3 sixes, beg your pardon? 4 sixes, sorry. Kenroy Peters was bowled by Daniel McDonald for 7, and Gangadine was stumped Matthew of the bowl of Daniel McDonald for 5. Belfon not out 1, extra 17, and 114 for 8. So I think Kerry is ready for the post-innings interview. Over to Kerry. Frank.
We're here at the boundary ropes with Dana George of St. Andrew. Dana George, 3 for 16 in your 4 overs. Pleased with your effort?
Well, most likely want to say thanks for coming the opportunity to play the first game today. Well, all we do was just stick to the basic and well discipline. Just nice line and length, keep it tight, let the batsman come at you. And today I was successful with that.
All right, your team have to chase 115 for victory. A total in the region which have proven to be a bit difficulty for teams in the past. Quite confident they can overhaul that total?
Well, I'm quite frankly that we'll be able to overhaul that. We just have to get a good start, at least the first 5, be disciplined with it. They will both bad balls, rotate the strike, and hopefully we will be victorious at the end of the day. It's a must win for us, so we know how bad we want it, so we have to go hard to it.
All right, we'd have seen, as you would have mentioned earlier on, a different in approach from St. Andrew. Instead of looking to blast out teams, the opening bowlers, they'd have done quite well maintaining a tight line at the batsmen. There would have been some planning going into this match, I assume?
Of course, because the game before I guess we had about 30 plus extras, so we'll try to be a bit more disciplined, maintain our line, let the batsman come at you, then let them make the mistake instead of fighting to go behind them. So then we apply the pressure on them by that, and squeeze them at the end of the day. So that was victorious with us.
All right, so Dana, we want to wish you for your performance. A veteran coming into St. Andrews team certainly would have strengthened the effort.
Yeah, thanks much.
All right, so all the best to Dana George and St. Andrews for the rest of the tournament, for the match and for the tournament. So that's the news from the boundary.
Thank you very much, Kerry. Dana George there. Optimistic that they can win this game and rather pleased with the performance of his bowlers. 114 for 8 St. Mark's, 114 for 8 of their 20 overs. A little bit surprised that Darren Ned just 1 over for 5 runs. One thought that maybe he would have given the opportunity to bowl a little bit more, but only 6 bowlers used. Doobie said 4 overs for 15. Didn't take up a wicket. Buddy had none for 29 of 4. Dana George, as we just heard, 3 for 16 of 4. Richard Rogers, 3 for 26 of 4. Tarnished in his last over by a couple of sixes there by Etienne. Daniel McDonald, 3 overs no miss, 2 for 17. And Darren Ned had just a 1 over for 5 runs. So the victory target there when St. Andrews will go to their crease to bat, it'll be 115 for victory, 115 of the allotted 20 overs. There is an innings change. The light roller is just rolling the pitch and freshening up a bit, and until it's time to rejoin us here so that we can have St. Andrew's response. Maybe you can have a bit of tea, a bit of lunch and ice cream, or whatever you deem the best thing to do. Until then.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more.
With more money,
to the jackpot galore.
Play more,
win more, have more fun.
With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number 1.
With the new and improved Super 6 game,
the jackpot keep growing
and growing.
And growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more.
And welcome back here at the National Cricket Stadium here in St. George's, Grenada. And St. Mark, just to remind you, 114 for 8, 114 for 8 of their 20. And it now behooves the St. Andrews team to go there and to see whether they can knock that off. Well, knock that off is putting it in a rather dramatic manner. But whether they can eclipse it or whether they could get up there, just sneak a victory home, I still think we have a pretty good working total. As I said, good afternoon to Wayne O'Geist, who is here with us in Grenada, of course, from St. Lucia, the Helling of the West, they call it. I'm sure you're proud to be
Absolutely.
in the Helling of the West and proud to be here in Grenada.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good morning, listeners. Very happy to be here, and most of all, sitting next to my esteemed commentator, Pastor Stevenson Worm.
I just blushed.
It's an honor to be here with you, sir.
Honor to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
So here is going to be Belfort on the first ball, and bowling rather than the pad, the ball may be just slanting down the leg side as Anil Matthew opening the bat there with Teddy Bishop. Don't forget the magic total being 115. And St. Mark's, they got a good working total here. Maybe not the best, but working, if you want to put it that way.
Yes.
They probably would have preferred to get up to about 125, 130.
Yes, that would have been the ideal score. But 113 will still be a challenging proposition on the wicket because the ball is not really coming onto the bat per se. And it appeared a bit too pacey in the first inning. So it will be a challenging.
Absolutely, it will be a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's what cricket is all about. It's probably the most challenging of the ball sports that you'll find. Of course, there are so many ball sports around the globe. This one called cricket, longest. But of course, there are the shortened versions, the T10s and T20s. Delivery that is pull well down to the deep forward square boundary. They're not going to come back for the second. The return is sharp and fast by Gangadine. Just a one bounce into the keeper's glove. So St. Andrews, they're off the mark. They're one without loss. So you do support your son Akim quite a lot, don't you?
Yes, we do. We've literally traveled the entire Windward Islands and some of the Caribbean islands also. Supporting, visiting, seeing, observing. I think it's important.
Pushed up on the upside. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. If he had struck that, it would have been rather close. Just diving home there is Bishop. Stretching out. It was a dicey one. It was one that was very risky indeed.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And had just a one stump to aim at. Let's look at it. Dabbed out on the outside. And Teddy Bishop took off. He wasn't really wanting to respond, Matthew. And it would have been a very tight one indeed.
Yes, it was. It was a very close one. Very close one. Yeah. Teddy is a very exciting young batsman also. I look forward to seeing him handle himself out there today.
Good single, driven up to mid-off. Always putting pressure on the fielder as to whether he's going to panic and take his eyes off the ball. And that's exactly, I think, what happened there. And they got one.
Yes, I think it's good that they're looking to take the singles. I think it's extremely important that they try to get as many singles as possible, rotate the strike, and look for the boundary balls as they come along.
Push through extra cover. Peters would have a chase. They've gone for one. Will not come back for the second. The return comes in, just a one bounce to the non-strikers and they get one. So that completes the first over. Just 4 runs coming off the first over. And the approach so far seemed to be look for the gaps.
Yes, and the batsmen appear to be very cautious and just waiting for the bad balls. Waiting for the bad balls. The opening bowler, what's the name?
Belfort.
Is it Belfort? Belfort, okay. Yeah, he handled himself very well in the first over. keeping the ball on a good length. I think there was just one short ball which was pulled down to square leg. But he seemed to be trying to hit the good areas and allowing the ball to do the work of the pitch. It's a good start for St. Mark's.
Yes, good, nice, tidy over.
Yes.
Sunil Naran will take it up from the far end. We did talk about the outstanding weather for the match. The cloud has come over, sort of engulfing the overhead, and whether there'll be some semblance of rain, we don't know. It hasn't been raining torrentially, but on a couple of occasions in the matches, they have, the rain has held up play every now and again. They've been on seasonal rain. We're told that up till April, we will be getting these intermittent showers, sort of uncharacteristic of the dry season. So Sunil Narayan is going to be coming in, and he's going to be bowling to Bishop. Just a slip in. There's a backward point. Conventional cover, extra cover, and a mid off. Here he is outside the off-stump, cuts down to bad miss. This is going to yield 2 runs. They will come back for the second run too, as the return comes in. Not good service at all by the fielder there at extra cover. I wouldn't feel happy about that at all.
Yes, he appeared to have just taken his eye off the ball at the last minute, which didn't allow him to follow the ball as closely as he could have. Yes.
And he got an accommodating bounce too.
Yes.
There's a slip put in now, and a backward point. Lives that in the air. That's going to go long. That's going to go huge. That's a big hit. That's ginormous. That's 6.
That's a beautiful shot there from young Teddy Bishop there.
Got to the pitch of it. And no big wallop. You can see that he timed it well. Hit it with conviction and poise.
Oh, yes.
Opened the face of the bat slightly, and lifted that over the wide-ish long off boundary, and that went for 6.
Yes, very beautiful short of a long off there. Very well played by Teddy.
Yeah, with the field in. There was no challenge about catching that at all.
I think key here would be Teddy striking the right balance between attack and defense, and same time getting very well played.
Turned up to forward square leg. Gets a comfortable single. Good sensible batting too.
Yes.
It's about working the ball. Not if it's not in the slot for the big booming drive, you can use the wrist, use the angles, and he did that well. And let's quickly moved on to 11. Good start here by St. Andrews. 13 without loss so far.
Yes, very sensible batting indeed.
Yeah, they shouldn't make this as though it's the most difficult assignment in the world, but that's the game of cricket though. Looking to lift that. The keeper didn't really collect it well, but he was looking to lift that over maybe the bowler's head. And head in the air, the old-fashioned commentators would say.
Yes.
Little adjustment to the field, the extra cover just been pushed back a little in a distance that would challenge a single. It's Narayan again. It's going to move in, driving up to mid-off. Thought about the single. The return comes in. He's got to hurry, and just managed to get back there.
Oh, he's been given out.
He's been given out, has he?
Yes, he's been given out by the umpire.
Whoa!
It's a run out there.
Oh, that's good work. That is really outstanding work. We didn't even see whether the bails had been dislodged. So now let's look at it. Driven up to an extra cover, came forward, picked it up, and at his left hand threw the ball at the non-striker's end. The ball hitting the stumps, and the appeal went up. The dreaded index finger of the umpire going up, and so he has been adjudged run out. St. Andrews, they've lost their first wicket. Is 13 for 1.
Yes, that is an unfortunate run out there. But it was brilliant work indeed by the fieldman. Is it Belfont?
Yes.
Yes, he did an excellent job at pick up and through. And unfortunately, Mr. Matthew was caught stranded there.
And he was, in fact, it was going to his right hand, which is his left hand, which is his strong hand. That made it even easier, so to speak. Not that the assignment was easy.
Yes.
But it accommodated him much better. The fact that he had to pick up with the left hand and in one motion through with the left hand. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful cricket.
Yes.
And those things do not come overnight. It means that you've got to work on the game in order for you to execute task so well. So the new batsman is McDonald. It's Daniel McDonald who's come in to join Teddy Bishop. They've lost the wicket already via the run-out route. So Matthews run out by Belfont in quite spectacular manner. Now we've talked about players doing very well and the overall tournament, but we can't stop talking about the umpiring. Outstanding. Wayward delivery, that's going to go down very close to the boundary. I think it's got sufficient legs to get it into the boundary for four.
It will. It's 4 runs, yeah. I think the bowler trying to go for some extra pace there. He pushed this one through and he missed his line and length and went down the leg side. Keeper was slow in moving across.
Gangadine tried his best to run after it, and it was a really bad delivery. And you can't really fault the keeper so much. And it went down to the boundary for 4 wide.
Yes. I think it's important that Matthews and McDonald try to consolidate and put a partnership together to give them a fighting chance there.
Raps on the pad.
Yes.
There's an appeal, not with any great sense of conviction, as the ball dribbled out on the offside. So successful over here by St. Mark. 2 overs gone. The run rate is rather healthy, 18 for 1.
Yes.
The sun has come back out quite spectacularly after being hindered by the clouds. I don't know what it has been in St. Lucia, but we've been getting intermittent rain here in Grenada. What has it been like across there in St. Lucia?
St. Lucia has been fairly dry. Weather pattern similar with some showers in between. But it's fairly dry weather back home. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still a lovely day for cricket out here. And the clouds just seem to be just blowing over the ground. Don't anticipate any heavy showers. Do you, sir?
No.
Okay.
So here is Belfont is in and he smacks that. That's a fine shot. That's a magnificent shot for 4. Nobody moved except the extra fielder, cover fielder now trotting after it. It was pitched up and he threw the kitchen sink at it and it rushed across the extra cover area. Airborne, but it was hit really hard indeed. And it went to the boundary for 4. Teddy Bishop, fine shot.
Yes, very lovely shot. And Teddy's a very attractive batsman. I mean, you will pay money to watch him bat. I've followed him from under 15 days into under 19s, under 17s. And he's a really beautiful batsman. He's one of the young players that I absolutely love watching play.
Yeah,
and that was a shot, one of his favorite shots right there.
Yeah, there was a touch of disdain about it.
Yes.
This delivery just brought him forward, pushed it back. And the ball on his follow through just knocked it down. Yes. Gosh, he smacked that one. He hit it hard.
Yes, very hard indeed. And I like his body language out there. There seemed to be a determination to be out there. He looks very positive, yet he seemed to be keeping a calm head in ensuring that he defends the balls that deserve to be defended.
In other words, rather selective.
Yes.
Pushed out to cover. Was there any challenges in getting across here to Grenada?
No, there were no challenges, just the usual protocols that I think everybody has now accepted, ensuring that you do your PCR test, the various PCR tests, and of course the quarantine period, which I use to relax and enjoy some extra reading.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Oh,
Driven.
beautiful.
Caught an extra cover.
Oh, it was dropped.
Oh, did he drop it?
Drop.
Oh, he dropped it.
It's probably hurt.
Oh my golly. That'll be interesting. The batsman was Did he take? He was practically what? Oh. Did he complete the catch? No, you have to be in total control. That's what the law says, that you must be in total control. He must have taken the catch, and the impact of the catch may have hurt him, and that's when he may have dislodged the ball. Now, if we could get that replay again, we'll just have a bit of confirmation. The umpire says that out. That's out. Now, let's look at the shot. Driven, brilliantly taken at extra cover. He had it pouch, and then he let it go. So he was in control of the ball.
It's clean.
I think it's clean.
Okay. Oh,
the decision is good. It is clean. It was taken, and then he began to grimace in pain because it was hit so hard, and then he threw it to the ground. But he was always in control, and that's what the umpire is going to look at. Was he always in control? The umpire said yes, he was in control, and so Bishop goes.
Yes, and that's a very good strike there by St. Mark's, because Bishop really looked the part this morning until this unfortunate dismissal there.
Yes, so you know the gentleman that is out batting now?
Appears to be someone I may be familiar with.
I think we need to get you off the air now.
Yes.
Yes, Kim O'Geese has come out. Going to want to obviously make his father proud. So 2 for 22. So they've got a bit of a setback here.
Yes, and they really need a partnership at this stage.
So it's going to be very important for McDonald and O'Geese just to tone things down here a bit. The run rate is good, so that's not the big issue. But they'd have to maintain. But the old wily guy in Etienne is marshalling his forces out there. He knows about this. He's hobbling that mid off. And though he's not the official captain, but tell you what, because he is so astute and his experience comes into play.
Yes, he's a former national player.
Yes, sure is. Delivery that pushes him onto the back foot. You know, he just jumps into a back defensive shot, pushes it out on the offside. So there is a slip in, I think quite wisely too. New batsman in, third man, backward point, extra cover mid off. There's a mid on, mid wicket or forward square, and there's a deep backward square right back on the boundary. So they're going to make that difficult for him, tease him to get a single or to pierce the field.
Yes.
Coming forward rather stylishly. Pushes the ball up to short mid off. That completes the over. So some 3 overs gone, and it's now 22 for 2.
Yes, and Belfort continue to hit good areas. Belfort bowling the new ball there has been very consistent in the line and length. And he continues just to hit back of a length and challenging the batsman. We're hoping to get some movement either way, either direction.
Any cricket in St. Lucia? No?
At this stage, no. Because the pandemic was created a very challenging environment for us. And as such, it would not have been wise to have any cricket at this time. So but things are improving.
Glad to know that.
Yes, the positive rate is decreasing.
Very nice.
So I'm sure within the next couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks or a month or so, we should see some cricket starting back again in St. Lucia.
So
I think it's young Williams coming into the attack.
Yes. Ronald Williams.
Yes.
Slender cricketer. And he's got a lovely approach to the wicket. Really lovely delivery that is turned down to fine leg. They're going to come back for the second. They're hesitating, start and stop. And then finally decided, you know what, we're going to stay our creases.
That was a bit of suicide running there.
Yeah. You've got to be always decisive.
Absolutely.
So Geese now comes into strike. Little adjustment. There's a backward point now, and the backward square is just pushed a little finer. The long leg right back on the boundary, and there's a third man there also. So here is Williams to bowl to Geese. Clips it off the toes. Nice shot. Turns it, but the fielder is right in the path of the ball. Knocked it down. So he's still searching for his first run.
That's a good stop there by the fielder there at short backward.
Just asking, when did you, as a parent, see that there was cricket ability in your son? Was it a very, very early age? Loved the game?
It was a very early age. He just started knocking balls with empty bottles around the house. And he must have been about 3 years or so.
Oh, really? That's how we started?
And my wife bought him a cricket set, plastic bat and so on. And from then he's been enjoying himself.
Wow. That's the thing. I think parents, there are a lot of gifted children out there. But when you're not given the instruments and the tools to develop those talents, they go wasted.
Yes.
And that's why it is very important for parents to be in the lives of children. Drives well, fine shot. It's gonna go out to the boundary 4 runs. No, that was a lovely shot, almost like Alvin Kalicharan shot. Just came forward, didn't look to hit it too hard, but there's a sweet song that's Leather and Willow met, and he caressed it through the cover area for 4. Fine shot. It got off the mark in quite dramatic manner.
Yes, indeed.
Don't be afraid to say it, Wayne. It's a good shot. I know you're modest about it. It's a lovely shot. Really lovely.
It was a lovely shot, yes, indeed. Through the covers there. Yeah.
Absolutely caressed it. There was a poetic element about it. Really lovely. It was very pleasing on the eyes.
Yeah.
All left-handers should be able to drive the ball excellently. Here's Williams again. Down the leg side, looking to turn that maybe down to fine leg. We got a little bit too much inside. And the keeper just going around and collecting behind the stumps. Wide signal by the umpire.
Yes, I mean, young Williams, I observed him a couple of years ago, I believe, in the under-19 tournament. And, he seemed to have gotten an extra yard of pace since that time.
He's got a beautiful approach to the wicket, almost like a Dale Steyn approach. Drives through extra cover, again runs here. Just a 1 though this time. Didn't time it as efficiently as the previous shot that brought him 4.
Yeah.
But got a single.
It's important that McDonald also, that they stay out there and get the singles and the boundaries in between, so that they can reduce the pressure in the dressing room and bring some calmness to the dressing room. Because at this stage, I'm sure the players would probably be on edge at this time.
Yeah, you're sure right. Look at his approach. Lord, it's so smooth and beautiful, rhythmic. Drives well, fine shot. Yeah. Beautiful shot by McDonald for 4.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful shot. Straight back over the bowler's head.
Really lovely. You could see him leading with the top hand.
Yes.
And just drove it. Nice little follow through. Didn't try to hit it too hard. And it went down to the boundary for 4. So 6 overs gone, 33. 4 overs gone, beg your pardon. 4 overs gone, beg your pardon. It's 33 for 2.
Yes, and they're keeping up fairly well with the scoring rate, going at about 7 and over. Yes.
Actually, 8 and over.
8 and over. Yeah.
So, good start. They've lost a couple of wickets, but the run rate is good. The required run rate just 5.13. So, they're right there within striking distance. No problem with that. And Spelfon will bowl. Let's get ready to bowl to Auguste. drives up to mid-off, good comfortable drive, and gets a single. Etienne running across to his left, but couldn't prevent it. Good quick call, good response.
Yes. And McDonald looks very keen out there. He's showing good body language and eager to take strike also. It's important that they continue to take the singles.
Yeah, rotating the strike is so critical.
Yeah.
So these two left-handed players just trying to restore stability. Turned up to mid-wicket. The runs here, they're going to come back for the second. This very good running, but it's going to be a challenge. Just managed to get there. Maybe if the throw was that accurate, but there was the opportunity there, and Ogis called him back for the second. Was a bit challenging. Turned up to mid-wicket. Now the good thing is that they did go after the first run quickly.
Yes, which allowed them to complete the second.
Yes, Peters had to literally run around the ball because it was going to his left.
Yeah.
And he's right-handed, so he had to sort of run around it, pick up and shy at the keeper's end. Just managed to get there.
I think they need to be careful because they would not want another run out at this stage.
No, absolutely not. They're
It's
batting
important.
well.
Yes, it's important that they consolidate and bring some respectability to the score.
Left, that's a fine shot. That's going. It's going. It's gone. That's 6. Lifted it over the wideish long on boundary. That's gone for 6. That's a huge hit. Maybe about a good 90 yards. And he lifted that sweetly. You heard it on the bat and you knew it was special. Nice arc, nice follow through. And he stood there as if there were a dozen camera focused on him. He knew from the moment he hit it, it was going to be 6.
Yes, and what I like about it is that he didn't attempt to overhit the ball. He really used the pace of the bowler and caressed the ball literally over the long on for 6.
Yes.
Yeah, very beautiful shot.
Kept his poise, kept his form, kept his shape, which is so very important.
Yes.
Well, of course, Belfont would not like that. Won't be happy. No fast bowler loves to be hit over wideish long on for 6. Short delivery. Played very well. Just got onto the tip of the toes on the back foot. Opened the face of the bat and glided it down to a short third man. Got a single.
Yes, and McDonald is batting very sensibly.
Very sensibly.
Very sensibly, yeah. It's very easy to get carried away after you hit a boundary to look for another one. And he essentially just waited and pushed the ball down to try to get a single. Yeah.
It was good bowling too by Belfont, who just pull back the length. They're calling. You can hear it through the stump microphone. Yeah. They're calling very early. So 5 overs gone, 43 for 2. This is a good response, if not at least having lost 2. But in terms of the run rate, which is exactly 8 runs, 8.60 is that per over. So they're right up there in terms of the run rate. We've lost the sunshine a bit, but no threat of rain. And whereas in the middle innings, we noticed that St. Mark's did lose a few quick wickets, and that did in fact set them back.
Yes, and I'm quite surprised that the run rate is at 8 because the batsmen just appear to be going about their business quite easily. We don't appear to see any rash batting or anything of this sort. Just very sensible batting, trying to get the boundaries of the bad balls and get the singles in between. And the run rate is at 8.6. So if they continue batting in that manner, they may well carry the team over the line.
So Micah Narayan is coming to the attack. There's a short third man, sweeper of course, which has become a regular feature on most games, even the 2020 and 50 over version, also in test match cricket at times. Oh, he's dropped it! That was going right in the mid-rib area, and he would be disappointed with that. It was pitched up, and he drove at it, and gosh, he spilled it.
Yes, that's really unfortunate there for St. Mark's, because McDonald is looking good, and I would believe that would be one of the prize wickets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it traveled quickly, but he should have taken it.
Yes.
Really should have taken that. Andrew, let the team down there. Let himself down. He's going to try again, Narayan. Outside the outcome, there's an appeal for cut behind. Gone. Yes, gone. This one was wider. Lured him into indiscretion. Drove at it. The ball took the outside edge. The catch taken. The umpire waited to see whether he would move. And when he saw that he was not going to move, said, hey, well, I'm going to move you. Catch taken. And so he goes. So McDonald has gone. Daniel McDonald gone for 14. It's now 43 for 3.
Yes, and that's a good catch there by wicketkeeper Kimani Melius. The left-hander, the right-hander coming from over the wicket. This ball hitting down just a little outside the off stump and moving further away. And he could not have been in control of the shot and just nicked it to the keeper.
Yes, he was playing with his body much too far from the ball. And a delivery that he could have left alone too.
Yes.
To let it go by.
Yes.
But he went after it.
Yes.
And the catch was delicately, smartly taken up behind the stumps. So with 3 for 43, I still think we've got a game on our hand here, don't we?
It's really game on right now.
Sure is.
Yes, I always felt that 113 would be a challenge in total on this pitch. And the batsmen will really have to put their heads down and bat sensibly. And be prepared to allow a few balls to go outside the off stump if they have to, in an attempt to consolidate and build some partnerships.
So Donald McDonald is just, as we've heard through the stumps mic, he's asked for a leg stump guard. In your days playing whatever form of cricket, was your guard middle stump, middle and leg stump?
I always batted 11, so there was no need for a guard.
You just went out there and bat, didn't you?
Yeah, just to ensure that we fielded 11. But I enjoyed some cricket at the district level, and also when I was at Moda at UE, played for a few years for the university. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, cricket is always fun. Pitched up by Mike and Narayan. There's a bit of aggression there in his body language as he picked the ball up on his follow through, as if wanted to shy at the keeper's end.
Yes, and St. Mark's, I like the energy that they have out there, because they have Etienne, who's a very experienced cricketer, and you have Kimani Melius, who was the captain of the West Indies under 19, and he's a very good captain, very strong captain. So I have no doubt he'll probably be having his say out there also.
Cut down to the third man area. Granger comes out of the boundary, sends the return. Backed up there's the ball went past the keeper. So a lot would depend on Ogis, who is on 6, just to keep the calm and composure.
Absolutely.
And again, as we say, the run rate now being 7.76. They require a run rate is 4.95, so no huge challenge if we're talking about rate. But Etienne, who was earlier down on the long off boundaries, now come to an extra cover. Seem to want a fielding every position today. Narayan was just about coming in, aborted his run up because the batsman wasn't quite ready. They have a mid-wicket. Well, the old-fashioned commentators talk about a mid-wicket conference, which just seemed to have gone out of the game now. Wayward delivery outside the off stump, wide, signaled by the umpire. But cricket language has always been such a wonderful language. very complex with all the leg gullies and leg slip and
Yes.
forward short leg and
Silly middle.
silly mid-off, which does sound silly, and it's a silly position too. All of those arcane names. Was looking to pull that down to the deep backward square area. Didn't make the kind of contact that he wanted. It's good to see the two batsmen though communicating, having mid-pitch conversation, admonitions, encouragements. That's a feature we used to see quite a lot in cricket in the past. Still don't think that batsmen communicate as much as they did yesteryear.
Maybe the game is at a much faster pace now.
Yeah, I would think so.
And with all of the fines that have now been introduced by the ICC for slow over rate.
You gotta quicken it up. 7 overs gone, 6 overs gone, 45 for 3.
Yes. And St. Mark's showing good body language out there. You see Kimani is very involved in it. You have Etienne. All the guys are putting a good team effort there. And it's really game on right now. It's really game on.
I think St. Mark would want to just restrict these two as much as possible. Now, the run rate has now gone down to 7.50. You've got to, that's the current run rate. The required run rate is exactly 5. Now, if they can get that up to 6, so to speak, then a little bit of panic could come into the St. Andrew camp. But so far, there is no real need for it, though.
Yes, I think if the batsmen just bat sensibly, keep their composure, look for the singles, they could easily attain the five runs and over run rate required. But Etienne will have different ideas there.
That's right. He sent the mid-off, conventional mid-off fielder right back on the boundary to long off. So here's Etienne, who had struggle running. Looking to cut the ball down to the deep square position. They're going to get the second run. The return comes in. Not the best one in the world, but the release was quick, although it was off target. And the batsman had time to cross for 2. Short delivery. And onto the back foot went McDonald and cut it behind square on the offside.
I notice we have a second McDonald there. Are they brothers or relations?
They're brothers.
Oh, they're brothers. Okay.
It's always something unique when you have brothers playing on the same team.
Yes, indeed. The cricketing family.
Yes. When we talk about brothers, of course, our mind would go back, of course, to the War brothers, who played outstandingly for Australia.
Yes, indeed.
Delivery that is cut down to the deep extra cover area will get a single. And for a moment, one thought that Mark Waugh, who seemed to be more the natural, beautiful player, may have gone on more than he did, but it turned out to be Steve Waugh, who was more gritty, resilient, maybe less attractive batsman, but had an outstanding career. Oh, that was a good delivery. Should have been on the front foot, but he elected to go onto the back foot.
Yes, indeed. Steve was a very, as you said, very critical actor, very tough one to not want to give up easily.
Stone-faced, stone-heart. Coming down the pitch, nice shot, good nice shot, just danced into it and pushed it down to long off and got a comfortable single. And of course the Bravo brothers, Sheldon and Larry Gomes from Trinidad. Sheldon Gomes, who was an outstanding fielder, I think died sometime last year.
Well,
they're going for a suicidal single. The return comes into the non-strikers and just managed to get there. Oh, well, Gates was saying, hey, let's go for the single. Got up to about 2/3 to the pitch. And McDonald was not responding. The return came to the non-striker's end. It was off target, just managed to get back there. And the over coming to an end. 7 overs gone, 49 for 3.
Yeah, it appeared to be a...
Yes, pushed out on the offside. Now he wasn't responding at all, McDonald. O'Geese was coming through and then was really seeking to go back, had to really stretch. Well, they say the old proverbial saying, all is well that ends well.
Yes, indeed.
Not always sure about that.
Yes, I guess they're batting together probably for the first time, so they may not fully understand each other from that perspective. So they will have to be more careful and maybe call and respond more decisively.
Yeah, and you've made a rather sensible point. When you get accustomed to batting with somebody over a period of time, the communication becomes much simpler. When it's a new player, you've got to learn features, body language, everything outside the off stump. Wide signal by the umpire. And sometimes not just body language, but Caribbean countries, we've got our own accents.
Yes.
The Dominicans and St. Lucians got similar accents. Antigua, Jamaica,
yes,
slightly similar.
St. Vincent to an extent.
And St. Vincent
yes.
to an extent. Ghanese accent is just Ghanese. Well, if you're talking about Bajan, there isn't another Caribbean country that has anything Bajan about it outside the off stump and looking to smack that behind point.
The Trinis also
yes.
very, very unique accent.
Yeah, rather sing-song
yes.
way that they speak. I studied in Trinidad for 3 years, but didn't manage to talk like them really. Lovely country, Trinidad.
Yes, Narayan is bowling some good areas also. He's
yes.
to the left-handers in particular. He's very consistent at about off stump and just outside.
Probing,
and
just
yes,
probing.
Very probing length there, and he has the backward point and the cover in place to give him some protection.
Still wondered whether a slip could not have been put in for the left-hander, especially as he's probing outside the off stump.
That's certainly something that could have been given consideration.
Oh, we're just not quite to the halfway mark. Don't forget it's 114. So St. Andrews, they still got some work to do. The cover is going to be pushed right back on the sweeping position, boundary riding. As Narayan will prepare to bowl to McDonald. Hit up to long on and they'll get a comfortable single. Just got it inside the line and pushed it up to long on. So it's just sensible cricket really.
Yes, and Narayan continues to hit some good areas. He's been very consistent with his lines.
Certainly hasn't been spraying it all over the place. A couple of blackbirds have just flown past us here. Well, it would have been interesting to see if it was gathered as to whether he would have been really in a bit of bother striding home.
So this one would have been a very close call had he picked up cleanly.
I always believe in putting the fielder under pressure. Not to be suicidal, but test him, see whether he's going to maintain his composure. And sometimes you have to look and see who is going to field the ball. They will have to hurry, overruns the ball again. No, they won't be happy about that. As Lawrence coming in. Of course, good keeper, used to be behind the stumps. Few pungs added. And again, maybe just taking his eyes off the ball.
But I believe the dressing room may be a little uncomfortable about the short singles. Yes.
It's been a little on the dicey side.
Yes.
Gets one that he pushes down to long on and gets a single. As the fielder comes off the boundary in near on Belfon, sends back the return. The over comes to an end, and so with 8 overs having gone, 55 for 3, 55 for 3. I think we're going to have a double change here in Rafael Crony and Justin Hector as they continue, of course, to describe, which might turn out to be a pretty interesting affair.
Yes, it will be. And Pastor Woburn, thank you for being in your company. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do some commentary. And
yeah, well, welcome. We're happy to have you here. Interesting struggle. St. Andrews is trying to take full advantage. We have 55 for 3. We have so far 8 overs being bowled. As Etienne, left arm Etienne coming from this northern end. This one is swept down to backward square, and that goes just one bounce into the boundary for 4. Good shot play there by Ogis. It was pitched up and he swept it well over backward square down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, so key moment in this encounter with Ogis and McDonald, who is set, who's been there for a while. And of course the bowling of Etienne and Narain. Key moments. I think what they will look to do here is to probably just stifle the batting, the run scoring, try to push the required rate up and put St. Patrick, who has struggled, Andrew, who has struggled a bit too with the batting in the tournament, under some pressure.
Yeah, and just looking at the field placement, because that ball is just swept down to backward square. Actually, the fielder is now being placed there. This is where he really should have been. That ball should have been going straight down to that backward square position where that fielder is placed at the moment. So just need to look at the field placement a bit in terms of getting it right.
These two players are doing it in the right way. They're just pushing the singles here and there, and that's all they need to do. Nothing extravagant, and you should take them home.
Yeah, there's no need for any undue risk. It's normal cricket, picking up the ones and the twos. Bad ball gonna come every now and then, so they are doing it right so far.
And, McDonald is on 6. Ogis is on 15. So they've been there 60 for 3. So they've seen the conditions and they've, I guess, assessed the conditions now, and it's a lot easier than it was at the start of the game, Crony.
Yeah, and that's why it's a bit interesting in terms of a decision made by St. Mark's, who won the toss, and they decided to bat. Now, as the sun comes out on the wicket, it will really be, the ball is going to come off, much easier. It will be better for batting. So, as I said before, I was a little surprised the fact that they won the toss and elected to bat.
Well, everything in life has consequences. One of which the consequence of the decision. And down the wicket, Ogis comes and plays defensively. So Ogis again, one of the young cricketers in the Windward, and who has again rejoined the Volcano setup. And a couple of young players coming through.
Yes, and he's showing that he deserves to be where he at, playing with a good head, not taking much chances, and it will be important for him to stay there and try and bat through, and so at least the other batsman is going to bat around him. It's 61 for 3. We had 9 overs being bowled, and you'd want to make sure at any team that you have one player that's going to bat for a long period of time. And he would want to do so.
St. Mark posted 114. Anything, I guess, less than a run a ball, you're always behind the game and has to be chasing the game. And they need wickets. I think that's what they need now. They need to really get into the middle and lower order of the St. Andrew team if they're going to insert any kind of pressure on them. And see Gangadin picking it up. He didn't bowl in the last game or the last 2 games. But it's interesting to see how he's going to go. No, it will be a wide outside the off stump. And it'll have to be seen. There were probably some moisture in the wicket, and as a result, the ball may not have come onto the bat as well. It's left to be seen. Gangadin bowling so slowly through the air. What kind of zip will get off the wicket, or whether it will really bite and turn.
Yeah, but I always believe that when you slow it down as a spinner, you give the ball air, right? It creates more challenge for the batsman. In that sometimes they had to look up, they had to think whether they should come forward or to play back. So he put them in a position where they had to be quick to make decisions. So one would hope that with Gangadin coming on now would create some doubt and some cause some bad decisions, bad judgment. But I think this would be the hope of St. Mark's, because they need to pick up wickets if they're gonna win.
Bad delivery again, badly lined down the leg side. Could have been another wide, or did he get something on it? He may have gotten something on it. So nothing signaled by the umpire. So we have to ask him. Another single to Auguste. He goes to 16. McDonald is on 864 for 3. And so far they haven't yet settled down. Bowl a couple wider side the off stump and outside the leg stump. And again, a lot of mother luck with him, because it went back on the full, but it went back pretty quickly, crashing into the stumps on the other end. And that probably saved the boundary, because that would have no way, I don't think, any long on and long off, or any one of them would have gotten across to stop this one.
Yeah, hit very straight, and he had a lot of power, even though it went back in the air. As Gangadin moved to his right, that ball was more heading over off stump.
So Gangadin, an old-fashioned type of spinner, does throw the ball up in quite a bit. And as I say, first asking the batsman to look up, but 2 good runs again to the batsman, to Auguste. The delivery was flighted up and struck through the offside. It seemed very strong through that area, that extra cover region.
Yeah, we see him playing some beautiful shot through the offside. Just seemed to favor the cover drive.
Now he's back and pull magnificently. Well, now that was a good shot. It was a delivery. It was just maybe too short by Gangadin, and really no real pace on the delivery. And Auguste getting down pretty low and almost tucking it, pulling it through mid-wicket. And the fielders at mid-wicket, one was a little bit straighter, and of course the backward square had no chance. It went into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, and that's the danger of leg spinners. It was a short delivery, almost a long hop. And Auguste was in position and pulled it well in that vacant position, mid-wicket. And it went down to the boundary for 4.
71 for 3. And of course, while you're singing praise to the weather, Crony, maybe we sang too quickly. Just seen a little bit of rain and drizzle. So it's gotten a bit darker than when we started this morning.
Yeah, just a bit on the heavy side, cloudy side. I don't expect it to be going to create too much of a stoppage. You haven't seen the groundsman in place yet. So that tells you the hills is probably, as we look at it here, just some darkness. Darkness at the hills. One hope that it's going to blow away.
And that is where the rain normally comes from. It's a very still day. No real wind. You look at the trees. You don't really see the branches fluttering in the breeze. It's pretty calm, and this sometimes is a sign that probably some sort of rain may be imminent. So wind isn't there to blow the cloud away.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. Outside still is not a good sign. But we are hopeful that things is going to clear up. The drizzle has got lighter as soon as Narayan pick it up from this northern end.
Yes, and delivery turning into McDonald. And so 71 for 3. So St. Andrew, for that matter, they're quite advanced in terms of the game and what they're supposed to, I was asked previously to get. had a good start, and that has certainly advanced them. So they're not in a good position, and whatever should happen now, I think they're still ahead of the game.
Yeah, they will feel confident at 72 for 3 in the 11th over. Some 43 runs required. They would feel confident with that.
And certainly St. Mark will probably look back at the decision at the toss and who probably not sending St. Andrew. If it could have made any difference, sometimes, you never really know.
Yeah, but to give yourself the best chance, one would have thought that, you want to go that direction. You want to give yourself the best chance batting on the wicket. You want to give your bowlers the best chance bowling on the wicket. And this morning, obviously, St. Andrews bowled well. They did bowl well. Stroke play was not very easy. And it therefore meant that it was harder for the batsmen. And as such, we have seen that they only got up to 114.
Yes, maybe a better effort may have prevented that single to Auguste, but it was as the bowler Naran just diving over the top of the ball, and it came down towards long off. So there's another single, 73. And now going high and over the top, and no one will get that. Well, in fact, Etienne, who is just hobbling down on the boundary, and I think even if it was a fit fielder, they would not have gotten that either. Good shot.
Yeah, good shot by McDonald, and he actually hit straight, so he gave himself some room and hit it straight back over a very a long on position, very straight, and there was no danger in that shot. Good comfortable shot. He picked up another boundary that takes the score after 11 overs to 77 for 3.
Yeah, 77 for 3. It's going at exactly 7, and probably at a rate that is way too quick for St. Mark. They would want to really get some dot balls in, put some pressure on the batsmen. And what mostly I think they would need to get is some wickets. They really need to get wickets, is what pegs rates back, and they need to do that. These two batsmen looks quite comfortable at the moment, chasing what is a really paltry total of 113, but which ironically, Crony, is one of the higher totals posted by St. Mark in the tournament.
Yeah, and when we look back at the batting of St. Mark's here into the 5th game, you see the sort of scores that has been made. As we see another wide signal by the umpire.
Yeah, Lyndon Lawrence bowling from the southern end. Yeah. That action is good. Lyndon isn't known to bowl very much, I don't think.
Yeah, strange decision. We know him as a keeper. That is as far as I know of him. As we see, the rain is beginning to come a little heavier. As we see the groundsmen getting in place. What's strange that we have Lawrence bowling. One of thought there's Williams, and the condition now you would want to probably use these bowlers that are able to move the ball a bit, and you'd want to know that your top bowlers, you bowl a full quota.
Maybe pressure button. The fact that Gangadin didn't have a good first over, they had to look around to make up these overs. I think what they should be looking for now, as I said, is really to keep things tight and wickets. And that smash through again the offside. That will run close to the boundary. It goes into the boundary for 4. The fielder at a square cover couldn't get around to do the fielding. And another really easy picking there for the batsman. Short wide outside the off stump. And the umpires have asked for the covers, calling the covers on. So the rain is with us. In fact, it's coming down quite heavily as we speak, and the players are making their way out. You look out over the hills, you see the white of the mountain over the hills, which is not always a good sign to see. So over the Dabo Hills, that's where most of the rain come from, Crony.
Yeah, and it's coming down pretty heavily. As the wicket is being covered, but as we look at The area really doesn't look look too promising. But at St. Andrews at 83 for 3, really in a good position, trying to get up to 115 for victory, and we feel confident with McDonald on 18 and Weiss on 24. I feel confident in a position where we're going to take full points from this game.
Well, the farmers will be happy. We've had quite a bit of rain in recent times, quite heavy showers sometimes. Well, I don't do too much planting in Crony. I don't know if you're a man who plant anything. I don't know. I think Pastor One may plant some things. Tell you what, some of the things he have planted and stuff.
I think
and
that
I don't know.
all of us may not be fortunate to be in a position where we can plant, even though we want to plant. Obviously, I think Pastor One is in a better position. He plants a lot.
So at 83 for 3, we have the delay here for rain, and as the present position, chasing 115. McDonald is on 18-24 to Ogis, and we will look at observe the weather for the moment, and until we have some more cricket here for you, we take it back and join us when we resume here.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
And welcome back to the National Stadium and the continuation of this very important match for St. Mark and St. Andrew. So there's no change to the playing conditions. That's a wide delivery outside the off stump. He smashed down towards the cover region, diving, good stop down there on the boundary. And they will come back for two, yes. And certainly a good start for St. Andrew again, a delivery just wide outside the off stump from Lyndon Lawrence, who is very bemused still that he's in the attack.
Yeah, bad delivery, another short delivery, so hit through the covers. The fielder, the sweeper on the boundary had to really dive to his right to save this one, but not a good delivery by Lawrence. He has so far bowled 4 deliveries in the over.
Just a warning to Auguste that he may be moving a little bit too early. The batsmen need to understand that they need to, by the time to, that was a yard and a half wide.
Yeah, it's difficult to understand the strategy. He's thinking of St. Mark's, what they are trying to achieve here. This delivery was almost off the square. St. Andrews 86 for 3. And we still in the 12th over, so there's 29 runs to go, and we still have some 8 overs.
And the sound is back out in its brilliance. One can see the shadow of the batsman. The delivery on the pad is whipped out towards the square leg area, and another single. So it takes the score to 87 for 3, drawing much closer. Just a matter of what. Partnership of 44, so it's been a pretty stabilizing partnership, a good partnership, and it has gone at a pretty decent clip also. So that will put St. Andrew in the ascendancy. I think St. Mark will be rather difficult, would be rather disappointed, but generally the batting haven't really come together for St. Mark. Here is Lawrence again, and delivery outside the off stump, this time much better, and left by Auguste to go on his merry outside the off stump at the end of the 12th over. 87 for 3. Auguste is on 24. McDonald is on 29, and that's the latest score here.
Yeah, I think the batting of the St. Mark's team really have been the weakest part of the game. We look at the sort of scores they made right through, and the batting have been good, even with the inclusion, of Milius. One expected that he would have taken the lead in terms of the batting. But again, we saw a pretty disciplined shot being played by him today when it was necessary for him to stay and the bat and guide the team home. So they would have faltered, really because of the batting.
Well, Milius bats at the top of the order. I think what we've seen is really the problems in the middle order of the St. Mark team. They've lost wickets in clusters in the middle, and I think that has certainly put some pressure on them.
Yeah, at 52 for 1, I think they're still in a good position to maybe get up to a 140. And having lost from 52 for 1, there was I think 55 for 5. Having lost wickets regularly really would have make it very tough for them to put any substantial score on the board.
So it was, in a sense, difficult to say that the decision to bat first after getting a start like that, they should have done much better with that after the start, because there was no real, though yes, the conditions wasn't ideal for batting, but they did get through that period when they needed to push on. They just wasn't able to do that as Belfont comes back. And a delivery on about off stump, and again another good single, and this is what these two batsmen has done really well. They just pushed the ball into the open spaces on the off and on side and picked up, keep the scoreboard rolling over.
Yeah, and it's very easy. It's not very difficult. As I said before, they don't need to be looking to be the cover of the ball, but just push it into the gap, pick up the ones and the twos. As we look at the field, there's quite a lot of gaps. As we look at the offside, there's a long off, wide long off, cover, a point position, a sweep on the boundary, and third man on the boundary.
Auguste lets another delivery go outside the off stump, maybe just borderline, just very close to a wide. But Belfon just looking to keep the ball away from the batsman. And what you've seen from Ogis is that he seems quite comfortable with the deliveries outside the off. Some plays pretty well through the offside, to the cover, extra cover area, straight down the wicket. And maybe the line of attack, maybe they should have maybe tried to force him to play in other areas. Again outside the off stump and cut well. That will run into the boundary for 4. Well, I was just making the point, maybe they should not give him that room outside the off stump, and room was given to him by Belfon, who seems like he cannot understand what happened, but of course it was a bad delivery, Crony.
Yeah, bad delivery, and really deserved to be put away. And that backward point and that area down there was really free. The fielder on the offside was more of a cover on the boundary, and then the third man, which is fairly wide, so there's a big space there, and he beat that point position, and there's no chance of anyone catching it.
Yeah, I was just making the point that probably should have bowled a little straighter to him and force him to play in other areas. Continuing to feed him with deliveries outside the off stump.
And I think
it's like that.
I think St. Andrews was successful in doing that because they give the batsmen no room. They keep, bowling, keeping it really tight. It was difficult for even the top order of the St. Mark's batting to get off because of the tightness. So they keep it close. They didn't give them any room. And other than that, they use a lot of variation in that they use a lot of slower deliveries and so forth. And that made it really difficult for them to get off.
We haven't seen that much from the St. Mark bowlers, as we should say, if we should say that. That's a delivery now outside the off stump again, and this time McDonald playing a very naughty shot outside the off stump. And the ball going away from him, and the fielders appealing to the umpire, but it seemed like he may have just clipped the ground. Really, it seemed to pass. It seemed to be well. You look at the replay, and what you can see. Well, it seemed like there was maybe some daylight between bat and ball.
Yeah. Obviously, probably it was far from the bat, but a naughty shot as you're looking to probably maybe run it down to the slips area, which is vacant.
So McDonald will wait again for Belfon. And the sun is really brightly out now. So you look at the spatter of houses behind the back, the Darbo Hills, of course. Always a sight to behold, Crony.
Yes, a very interesting view.
Right up a lot before it's gone this time, and this is what we were talking about. A delivery well pitched up, and McDonald on the back foot probably should have been on the front foot, wrapped right in front. I don't think there is any question about this one. He's gone, and St. Mark probably belatedly picked up the 4th wicket, but one never know what can happen in cricket, Crony. No question about that.
Yes, good decision. Should have been on the front foot, and that's the thing about it. If you keep the ball up to the bat, you give yourself more chance, more option with a little movement of the delivery. And I think there was too many short bowling from the St. Mark's bowlers, and the batsman was able to take full advantage. But probably a bit too late, 93 for 4.
And this brings Lewis to the wicket. Yeah, because as we were saying, you force the batsmen to play in other areas. No room, and you ask McDonald to play in other areas, and we created the error. It was in fact 2 good deliveries. One which we saw Ogis looking almost sweeping and just making contact, and had he not made contact with that, he could have been pretty close.
Yeah, and that one again was right up, and he hit across it. It just was fortunate to get a bat onto it. It went down to backward square.
So Ogis is on 29. I think they would want to. They can roll over Ogis now. It will be a very good contest going down to the end.
Well, there's quite a bit of deliveries, and even though I think they pick up 1 or 2 wickets now, still, you would have to see that St. Andrews still is in a better position to win this game.
So Mike Narayan comes back in, and of course Kevin Lewis, as I said, is the new batsman for St. Andrew. He's at the non-striker end as the left-handed Ogis. Would wait for Narayan.
He's still without no slip, and now you have to take wickets.
Ooh, that was Yorker length delivery which sneaked through, and luckily for the batsman it was just a little bit offline.
Yeah, good delivery right up, and that just left the left-hander. As he was beaten with pace there, as he was late coming down on that delivery.
Oh, couldn't have been very far at all. See a quota vanish. Always the danger man, Micah Narayan. This time again right up, load up before leg before, and the umpire remain unmoved. So again another very good delivery, really, and it will be interesting to see this one on the replay. See whether it was missing anything you can miss. You have to be off. So let's look at it. And oh no, that what is your thoughts, Crony? Probably hit middle between middle and off.
This look pretty close. This look pretty close.
He look out to me.
Unless the umpire was thinking that he got back onto it, but it look very, very close.
Crucial time, very important. Again, a delivery this time right up and just flicked off the toes, and it goes down towards back of the square. They gone for one, they back for the second, and Nine will feel a little bit dejected.
Yeah, you have every reason to be. That look very, very close.
Well, the umpires is in the best position, Groening, although we sit it up here, perched up here, and the umpires always in the best position to make that judgment, and they have made pretty good most of the judgment that they have made so far. As here is Micah again on his way, delivery outside the off stump and just getting the inner portion of the bat and going back towards the keeper. So lots of activity, very action feel over so far. 95 for 4.
Yeah, creating some difficulty for Geese, who have been there quite a long time. He's on 31. Was beaten by two deliveries and a very close one for leg before.
Yeah, but for moment just seem to be mixed up with the amount of deliveries that has gone. Maybe not one of the better overs for the umpires, but we just lost off concentration out there. The delivery which is again pushed up this time towards long off. Another easy single to take this total onto 96 for 4. Take August to 32. Kelvin Lewis, who is not yet scored, comes in to face the bowling of Lewis. As I said, very lovely conditions here now. Still a bit of cloud hanging over though. I shouldn't say hanging over, but hanging around.
Yes, we look at the hills there. Yes, it's quite a bit of whiteness there. We see a bit of blue in the background, which is encouraging. So we should have a good day for the rest of the day.
Yes, and this is you want to see the cotton looking type. Here is Micah again on his way from the southern end to bowl. This time to go load up here for LBW, and not all says the umpire. Maybe this one just going down the leg side. One thing for sure, Crony, what you're gonna get from Nine is just straight bowling, straight most of the time. And again, another close call this time for Lewis.
Well, let's see what happens here now.
Oh well.
Wow.
You'll be the judge.
He certainly could feel undone in this particular over. I mean, it was a tough one for him. He had 2 leg before decision, which yours look really adjacent. Yeah, look really adjacent. After being hit, you could see the foot coming across. So really have been a tough one for him. Have been a very good over.
You don't want to call for a neutral umpire, Growing?
Could have easily picked up 2 wickets.
You don't want to call for a neutral umpire?
I think that's why the neutral umpire is so important. Because they certainly would have reversed those decisions.
Well, don't get us wrong. We're not suggesting that the umpires are biased to any one team or the other. No, it's just what you see, and I guess what you see as viewers all there. You be the judge. Anyways, 96 for 4. 32 it is to August. Lewis, who really survived a scare. He's not yet scored. And Etienne has come back into the attack. And should be smooth sailing for here though for St. Andrew, though they have lost 4 wickets.
And Narayan so far 3 overs, 1 for 11. Etienne 2 overs for 10 runs.
The back foot pulls down towards wide mid wicket, and the batsman can come back for 2. So just a little too short there by Etienne. Probably will be well served. He'll be better off bowling the ball up to the bat.
Yeah, just giving the ball some air. Again, looking to force an error from the batsman.
He comes in. Ball delivery down the track he goes, and really just lifting the head there, not really in control. Ball coming off the inner portion of the bat, just losing his shape there. Well, maybe for the first time we've seen that from Auguste.
Yeah, that's what happened when you tend to give the ball air and slow it up. Oh, he was coming down and really not to the pitch of it and dragged it to in a mid-wicket position.
So Lewis is back on strike. Probably still some butterflies after the appeal for leg before. It's a delivery now, which is his back and cuts down towards backward towards the cover on the boundary, and the fielder gets returning another single. So Lewis gets off the mark. And the 100 has come up for St. Andrew. They will be happy to see that. 100 coming up. And it came up in the 15th over, so there is a long time to go, a lot of overs to go in the match still. So gives himself some room and cuts that down towards backward point, towards the deep extra cover, and the fielder comes off the boundary and does the fielding, and there's another single. So 101, so needing just what now, 14 more to win. The delivery which is pitched up and driven again through the extra cover area by Lewis this time, and over by Etienne nearing the end. There's one more delivery, so we're in over number 15. 5 deliveries gone, 102 for 4. Auguste, who is back on strike, is on 36. Lewis is on 2.
Yes, and Mark's just about giving up just now. Seem to have.
And still finding very open spaces on the offside, although the area is quite well populated, but being able to just push the ball between fielders and pick up easy single. Auguste, he goes to 37, 2 it is to Lewis, 103 for 4.
Yeah, and St. Andrews really have played a better game today. I thought that they came into the game with a plan in terms of how they're going to attack St. Mark's batting. The fact that they didn't have Sherman Lewis, but they came with a plan, and I thought that both Dubiset and Buddy would have started very well. Was not looking for too much pace, but was just looking for line and length, and tried and keep the ball close to the batsman, not giving them room so that they could swing the bat. I thought that plan they came into really would have worked and really stifled the scoring of the St. Mark's batters.
I think it was McDonald at the interview did talk about maybe the team wanting it more, and which is smashed down towards the misfield there. That could have been well, Lewis was charging down the track. A delivery which was mistimed by Auguste.
Yeah, I'm not sure you wanted to hit it there. You look as though you want to hit it some way through mid-wicket, between that the mid-wicket that is on the boundary and the long one. But again, that ball just seemed to be holding its own, and as he swung, it went down to mid-off.
Yeah, just maybe I've rushed onto him a little quicker than he anticipated, and seemingly hitting the fielder there. That's Belfort, just walking gingerly around. Here is Narayan again and deliver a full toss this time and driven firmly up towards made another fumble there by Belfont. And probably they could have gotten 2, but no need for any chances at this stage. The score total goes up to 104 for 4. And another single to Ogis, take him on to 38. 2 to Lewis, who is back on strike.
Yeah, delivery firmly struck. It was full to the bat, down to mid-off. And Belfont, they just seem to be feeling the pain of maybe the delivery before. He just seemed to pull up slightly. He's now being pushed back to, well, it's a long on for the right-handed Lewis.
Yes, and delivery this time played up again on the offside. There is no run.
Yeah, good aggressive bowling by Narayan. Very unlucky now to pick up, another one, at least another wicket.
Stump to stump all most of the time, 9. And again pitched up again and just underneath the bat, looking to drive a Yorker length delivery again by Narayan. And it would have been very interesting to see whether this was pitched on the line of the stumps.
Yeah, again the player looked to be beaten by pace. He's really running through and giving it his all. As we look here, yeah, and batsman, they playing outside of that one.
9 shot, stockily built. He moves in now to bowl to Lewis again. Lewis gets one pitched up, and again not timing it probably as sweetly as he wanted to. He was a little late on the shot and playing it into the pitch, and the ball going up on the offside, but they were able to cross for a single as they made off, who is just on the edge of the circle, had to come around a little bit to his right to do his left to do the fielding. There's another single, so it brings Ogis, who is on 38, back into strike. 3 to Lewis. So delivery which is looking to go over the top, and another appeal again, this time maybe a little high, maybe height now, delivery wrapped on the pad. And one can hear Amelia saying this one going down.
But they end up another good over, is 4th over. And yeah, just slightly pitched outside the leg stump. But really have been a really good spell. 4 overs, no maiden, 13 runs, 1 wicket, and could have been
3
much
or
more.
4, yes. Should have. Could have, should have, and pick the correct language. You see what it was not to be.
And there just seemed to be a little discussion, subtle communication between Mike and the umpire.
Yeah.
But all seem to be in good spirit.
Just seeking some explanation as to, what he didn't do right in the appeals. So we coming down to the end of the game. We're in over number 17. And 105 for 4, so just 10 needed. And wonder if they would want to anything is over, or probably just take it as it comes.
I would think they're going to take it as it comes. Williams is back on from this northern end, and the right-handed Lewis, who is on 3, prepares to face.
Almost a beautiful shot outside the off, so pitched up by Williams and spanked through a very vacant area, extra cover. There's no one on the boundary. Everyone is set on the onside. It's strange field though too. And Williams not bowling into the leg stump, but choosing to bowl outside the off stump where he doesn't have protection, and 4 more runs resulting.
Yeah. And again, giving the batsman the room to really swing his bat, and with no one out on the boundary, it was like a free hit. And I think Lewis took full advantage of it and swung, and it went through the covers very quickly down to the boundary for 4.
So here is Williams on his way right arm over. Comes in again a delivery, this time short and just cutting back into the right hand. Now much tighter delivery, better delivery. Just bowling back of a length, and we just too late.
Yeah, and we see when you bowl the vehicle tight, close to the batsman, how difficult sometimes it makes it for the batsman to play. I think St Andrews are really successful in doing that this morning.
Yes, so it's 109 for 4. 1 hit away. Brave enough to go after Williams on hit for 6, end the game. The delivery which is again on the offside, and another what should be easy single again, just pushed up towards the captain at backward point, and a single was had. So one of the things which really dominated the St Andrew Union was the running between the wicket, the ability to just drop the ball on the off and onside and pick up singles and take pressure off them.
I think, to be fair, we have seen all-round performance of the St Andrews team, and this is the 5th match, and this really is the best we have seen from St Andrews in terms of the out cricket. The first half of the bowling, and now we see in the batting, really it speaks to the preparation and the development and the plan towards this game. I think they really approach it positively and came into the game knowing that they must win. If they're going to go through, they must win. And you could see it in the movement, how they started. You could see that they really was focused on trying to get victory here today.
Of course, and despite a few little hiccups with the running between the wicket, generally it's been really well judged most of the time. So they're only still like a hit away, boundary away. Delivery which comes forward and plays up on the offside. So a good delivery, not really giving him the room and probably not quite in the slot. So give him the opportunity to go after it. It's a heavy. More or less a balance field, 4 on the onside, 5 on the off. And Williams, what will be his last over? Okay. One way or the other, because with only 4 runs to go, I shouldn't see it going too far. We're in over number 17. And delivery smack down towards long one, should be picked up easily by Lawrence. That's ATN down there. And another single, so 3 to go. So just the final rights, I think, will be delivered in the next over.
Yeah, interestingly, Williams would have only bowled 2 overs. No maidens, 18 was no wicket. But good battle by St Andrews. I think they deserve to win. They really played a better game. 112 for 4. Just needing 3 runs as we go into the 18th over.
Yeah, so they paced themselves well. You're after a very good start. They started at a pretty good, healthy rate, and as a result of that, coming to the tail end of the game, it was all very easy. Just a coast home in the end. So here now is Sunil. And lap behind square on the onside, the return will come in, and they might go back for another. No, says the bowler. So a strong return coming in from Etienne behind square on the onside, and another single. So just 2 more. 113 for 4, 39 to Auguste, and 10 to Lewis. Of course, the performance of Auguste, one of the development players. And Gurney, that's what you were talking about. You want to see these players at that level really take control.
Yeah, we expect these players to dominate. This is a tournament lower than what you are used to, what you came from, and therefore we expect you to really dominate. We have not been seeing it. But this has been a good inning by Auguste, and he came in with the fall of the 2nd wicket and really put his head down.
Indeed. So still 2 to go. 113 for 4. Auguste is on 39. 10 to Kelvin Lewis. And of course, next encounter, which would be not of the same, and that's it. They're going for 1. They will come back for the 2nd, and they should have it quite easily as the return comes back. So 115 has been attained by St. Patrick, and we see them, they're still out there. So probably just calling to tell him that that's the end of it. So we believe it's the end of it. Of course, it is the end of it. So at the end of it, the handshakes and everything else, and Patrick have won against St. Mark, and of course, this means now that probably St. Patrick will go through ahead of St. Mark.
Yeah, most definitely. St. Mark's would obviously end on 4 points, a victory over St. John's. St. Patrick's would have won 2 games, and I think they are already on 8 points. Good victory by St. Andrews. Really, they had to come out and play the best game, which they did today. I think it really was the best that we have seen St. Andrews play. I think they bowl well, and we have seen the batting. They have really put their head down and bat rather responsibly to get up to a score of 115 for victory.
So we are with match number 2 today, which is St. John against St. Patrick, and we will take a break, and we will be back to bring you this game at the start of it. So until such time,
just before you go off, Justin, we probably would just have the man of the match presentation.
Oh yes,
just before we go off, just to say that it have been a tough road for St. Mark's. We look back at what has happened. The scores of, I think they got 90s in 2 innings, and really the batting has really let them down in the tournament. It's a team that came in rather confidently. We both, even the Super 50 that just went, we spoke highly of St. Mark's in terms of the work they have been doing, in terms of the way they have been playing. I do believe they have a good management structure in place. But certainly I think there was the players didn't live up to what we expected, particularly the batting, and they will be very disappointed the fact that they would have gone down in this game so badly.
Yes, they will be, as I said, the middle and lower middle order really didn't come to the fore for St. Mark. And we go down to Kerry now, who has the captains and of course the presentation.
Welcome to the post-match ceremony for the conclusion of match number 13, St. Mark versus St. Andrew. An important victory to St. Andrew, which books their spot into the semi-final round of the tournament. We had a presentation ceremony with the captains of today's match, Micah Narayan and Anil Matthew, and we also have the player of today's match, that is Dana George, for his 3 for 16 or 4 overs, and he'll receive his award from Andy Noel, the first Vice President of the Greater Cricket Association. We're going to have a few words with Dana. Dana, 3 for 16, must be feeling happy with your effort to help lead your team to victory.
Yeah, well, I'm really enjoyed and blessed we get the opportunity to play the semi-finals from where we had lost the 2. So I'm happy, and hopefully going on we'll be able to be victorious and continue and win that trophy back to St. Andrews.
All right, it's your first game of the tournament, in addition to the team in the latter stages of the tournament. Must feel happy that you're coming and able to make such an important contribution.
Of course. I did enjoy it, and gelling with them guys and bring the confidence with them and push them towards that victory. So I'm happy.
All right, so Dana, once again, congratulations today and all the best to the rest of the tournament.
All right, thanks.
All right, we're going to have some words with Micah Narayan, the captain from St. Mark's. Micah, yet another situation where your batsmen didn't put enough runs on the board.
Of course, yes, of course. I mean, we didn't get what we wanted, but that's part of the game. I think the St. Andrews team bowled pretty well in the middle, and that took away us from the game.
All right, reflecting on the tournament, you would have won 1, lost 4. Is that, I don't think many would say is not necessarily a true reflection of the quality that is possessed in the St. Mark's team.
If you look at the games we played, I think we come down out mostly 3 games come down in the last over. So I think we had a lot of positive in this game, but I think we batters have really let us down this competition so far.
All right, it's also a group of young guys. What lies in the future for the St. Mark's team?
Well, I mean, they are around me, and I love my game, so I will continue to help them progress so that we can be St. Mark's and win a lot of championship in years to come, because they are very young guys.
All right, so Michael, we want to say once again all the best to St. Mark's for the rest of the tournament, and we hope to see you in the next. All the best as you go on from this tournament, and we look to see you in further competitions of the GC.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna have a word now with Anil Matthew. Anil, off to a winning start, first game as captain, victory.
Yeah, it's a very good feeling to have the first game and get a victory
Your bowlers, you did very well. The two opening bowlers, Dubisset and Buddy, they bowled quite well. Must be pleased with the efforts from the opening bowlers.
Yes, I'm very pleased with the effort. Our plan was to restrict them for a low target, and the bowlers just put the ball in the right areas, and the fielders backed up well.
As we speak about bowlers again, Dana George coming in his first match, must be pleased to have a bowler to come in and give him such a performance.
Yeah, I must say Dana has done well. I think that he uses the experience only, and that is 2020 cricket where experience coming.
All right, young Ogis today, he scored a 41 not out. Quite pleasing to have such quality added to the batting lineup.
Yeah, well, the top order didn't get the start we wanted today, but the middle batters, they really applied themselves and played the role we are always asking for. For the last few games, we haven't been getting the runs from overs number 6 to 10, and today we really step up on that.
All right, as we advance you advance to the semi-final round of the tournament. It's such a tournament that you're not too sure who else you'll be playing for, but any particular team you have in mind?
Well, watching that table, most likely it might be St. David's in the semi-finals. I'll be happy to play them again, given that we have beat them in the earlier games, so that we'll play well and get to the final.
All right, so Anil, once again, congratulations to you and St. Andrew today, and all the best as you advance in the semi-final and beyond.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so that's it from the post-match ceremony. Victory to St. Andrew in match number 13 of the NLA GPL T20.
Yes, and of course, that's it for us for this for match number 13. We'll be back in a few moments for match number 14, which is St. John against St. Patrick. We invite you to join us then.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing
and growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.